Freddy, with a loss against Ghoul, will be eliminated because Ghoul will be on 5 points, Mastermind on 7. The best Freddy could do would be to get 4. They'd be out of contention. So, we could be seeing another elimination of Frederick. Here we go. Freddy versus Ghoul. Oh dear. We've got 2 Twitch streamer Ace Viscontis. That's not what you want to see. That's not what the Fred camp wants to see. Azarov's resting place for Freddy. A notable thing about this lobby, for those who haven't seen it, I'm talking to you, YouTube, there's 2 Ace Viscontis, both of them with Twitch jumpers, Twitch sweaters. That's concerning. That's concerning. Immediate snares, try and get people in the dream state, that could be good. And gonna send it. And that will not connect. Needed to lead them, wasn't quite able to do so. Medium volt back. Well punished by Fred, okay. And that will do a lot to just stall and still the nerves of Freddy and of the Freddy camp. Oh, what was that? What was that animation? It seemed like a pretty decently timed dream snare there. But somehow you have the jankiest medium volt of all time. No matter. Can you get pain res out of that? You can. Good opening exchange for Freddy. Good opening pain res and gem movement behind, which could be very, very good. By the way, Freddy does have a little bit of end game stuff to look forward to here. There's a dream snare. Should force a pallet drop, it will. Noed and Blood Warden. So even if the game looks bad in the beginning, which this doesn't, not yet. If the game looks bad in the beginning, every opportunity that he can bring it back with a well-timed Blood Warden play. So, look forward to that. Juice there through the bus, getting the hindrance. They still get the pallet. Make like he's kicking, but he's going to fake out here. Not doing any map management, not yet. Trying to get as many early pain reses as he can. Keep the game on side, have some early tempo to build upon. That's the plan. That'll be a drop. Oh, faking out the vault. They'll want to fake out again, and they do, and this should be... That's a great fake. Right, still, the kick here leaves them very little opportunity to go anywhere else. Dream Snare keeps them zoned over here. And heading to the corner now. Z-Wall. That's an unbelievable set of moves. Okay, Freddy caught swinging at nothing there. That will eventually be a dying state, but not until a gem pops. Up they go. You can teleport to the doors. Freddy can teleport to the doors because of one of the add-ons he's running. That's specifically a purple add-on, which works pretty well with Blood Warden and Noed, for obvious reasons. So, second Pamos hook. Gen completed over there. It's the least impactful teleport of all time. But it's what he's chosen to do. There have been questions about Freddy's commitment to his build. About how well he uses his powers and about how much he's just a bit of an M1 merchant. And he's not quelling those concerns with this performance so far. Getting some Dream Snares out there. He's also found himself embroiled in these Twitch jumper chases, which, as any killer main can tell you, is not what you want to be doing too much. These are people who have often, you know, really plied their trade in this game and can do some very scary things. There's an injury on Ace Visconti. Another ace hanging around. I mean, you're not too unhappy about that if you're Fred. Means there's hopefully a minimum of gem movement here, as the Dream Snare doesn't connect. Easy injury, go for it. You could commit here, and that's what Fred's going to do. Wanted the Dream Snare, instead swings at air. Not great stuff here, as that could be balanced landing. Just that little hop off the ramp. Did you see that? Maybe not, maybe not. Still hanging around the tile. Dream Snare there, just misses. Just misses, and they get back to the tile. There's another Ace Visconti hanging around. Not hurting for injuries is Fred, but needs to start converting them to hooks, and soon. Okay. You might call it a dream, you might call it a zoning Dream Snare right there. Keeps them away from the tiles. And could be dead hard all the way out here, you wouldn't be surprised. no such thing. Okay. There is a heal going on there. Oh. But Freddy, aiming to teleport to the heal, instead momentarily taps teleport on the gen, and that means that the power is no longer available. One of the very, very fun little quirks of Freddy's damnable core skill set. Anyway. That's just my opinion. Moving over to the other Twitch Ace Visconti. Probably don't want to be going after them here. It's V. They dramaturgy. Hold on just a second. There's a non-zero chance of exposed here. That's a fake pallet. And they know that, so they're not going to drop it. Really want to get the M1 here. They get Freddy on his own pallet. It's a dire thing. Really do have the opinion and have the sense that this is exposed, but it's probably past at this point. Yeah, if it was even there to begin with. Putting the Dream Snare hopefully in front of them, doesn't connect. And that will be a dying state. Gonna pick up immediately. Worst case scenario, it's a pallet stun. If that's the case, at least it's Shack pallet gone. It's a moot point, doesn't have to worry about that. And up they go. Third Painless token used. It's a horrible 3-gen already. Teleports to one of the gens that was moving before. And big opportunity here on the injured party. Expected them to go left, which is a bad call, because obviously the door is to the right of them. And they don't vault. Good play. You're hoping when there's two survivors in building, the one ahead will take the vault. They do not. And you know what? Pivoting over now. It's the other ace. Which is a shame. You'd much rather go after the Death Hook party, no doubt about it. In fact, can you get ahead of them by doing something like this? Theoretically, if you knew where the hell you were. And they've just got such a big drop on Freddy here. Such a cute ace duo. Oh yeah, they're brilliant. Oh, they're so cute. They vault back. Ah, that's a great fake. They know exactly what Freddy wants to do in that situation. Dream Snare, again, doesn't connect. They're trying to take a hit. Freddy's wafting at air again. What's he doing? He's been absolutely rattled by this team. Dream Snare in play. Vaulting back. Injury there. There's the other ace. Death Hook ace. They go for the heal. They don't get it. Dead hard. God, almost whiffing at air yet again. Going for the pickup. Could be a kill. Could be a kill if he can get around here to the hook. Ace is going to try. Body block won't be able to. Good line taken by Freddy efficiently around the heel. And now an immediate chase on offer here. Balanced landing. It isn't. It isn't. Forget what I said about balanced landing. It isn't there. And Ace gives away a dying state for no reason. All of a sudden, Freddy is back in a major way. And can hopefully get a pain res hook here to keep that last gen under pressure. Gets him to a semi-respectable 6 hooks. Again, you've got so much to look forward to in the end game. Maybe the tide might be about to turn. Right onto V. No Shack. No pallet in Killer Shack. Waiting out dead hard. What do you mean no pallet in Killer Shack? There is a pallet in Killer Shack. Freddy's ineptitude is rubbing off on me. This is outrageous. As V moves around the other side. This is an actual pallet, so no chance of an injury from it. Well played from V. There's no slouches in this lobby. And that'll be an injury. Well played. And the aces should not be anywhere near enough for any chance of a pallet save there. So, hook. V second. Things are looking up and up and up as Freddy teleports to hopefully the gen that's moving. It isn't. It has to be that one. Can he get there in time? If indeed it is moving. It might not be. It is, but it's not moving too much. Oh, it was dramaturgy. Not upset with getting the injury that quickly, but maybe the temptation to wait and see if they did have exposed. That doesn't connect. They just flee the scene. Okay. Never got rid of this pallet. Never got rid of the pallet. I'm really, really annoyed that he didn't. Could be dead hard. It isn't. It is a dying state. Another hook here. You'll have 2 death hook survivors in the endgame situation. Gens are not moving too much. So the unhook and the heal over there. That gem was not too much of a pressure point. This one's not moving all that much either. But what Freddy's going to do is kick this and then head over there. But things are looking up. Oh, for God's sake. Freddy's teleport is bugged, by the way. The icon moves hither and thither. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it isn't. Very mercurial. Which is exactly what you want of your mechanics. Okay, so V, taking chase here. Another dream snare goes wayward. Really not doing what he needs to with that dream snare. And barely using the dream pallets at all. I think scared witless by them. As there's another dramaturgy. Double haste, unfortunately. Double haste. They've been managing their dramaturgy well. Dream snare connects. Hindered. It should force a pallet burn. Don't do anything other than force a pallet burn. But with how slow that gen is, you're not too concerned about committing a little bit more time to this chase. If you're Freddy, they'll get to a window. Hold, 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 hold. Come back. Nice. Didn't expect them to vault. Expected them to go through the other doorway, but either way it ends in the dying state and a 2-survivor situation. And again, with nowhere to look forward to. Things are looking up for Fred. There is no more movement there. A noise, in fact, somewhere over here. Maybe they're pivoted to this gen. Maybe 'tis a meme. 'Tis a meme and nothing more. Who can say? In whatever case, Freddy's performed admirably here. Needed to get to a 3-survivor spot as soon as he could. He did. And reaping the rewards. Aha. As here's both aces, so certainly going to get an injury out of this. And you're very happy to go after the 1-hook ace. Try and prevent a hatch situation. What you might even do, with the gens where they are, there is an option open to Fred to maybe just injure. And then go after the other ace. But very happy to go after ace, seeing as they are on first hook. That was a good dream snare. Get that bit of hindrance out there, allowing you to kick the pallet that bit more quickly with fire up, turn the corner, wait out dead hard, which you know is in play, and then get the dying state. Good stuff. Very limited chance for the other ace to have fled from this half of the map. So as soon as Fred gets the unhook here, looking ahead to where ace might be, there is a lot of gen movement here. There's a lot of gen movement here. There's ace. Dramaturgy. Will it finally be the exposed dramaturgy hit that he's been searching for? Yes, it will be. Yes, it will be. Ending it on a dramaturgy exposed hit. Like Chekhov's gun, we were setting up the exposed dramaturgy hit, and it does the goods to send us to a 12-hook stage situation. So, no elimination. Freddy has, at the very least, secured a point which keeps him in contention. Good performance. Ghoul, Yamaoka, 4K needed. Let's get this over with. Ghoul. The rallying cry of the Gaul camp. No one likes us and we don't care. They know they're no one's favourite here, but they're going to still try and get results. And they've done so far. Had pretty damn good games. They'll find someone almost immediately here. Looking for a leap into a bite, and they'll get it. So injury confirmed. Ooh, as maybe the leader thought that that was a vault point. It wasn't. Gets the pallet here, they'll drop it immediately, move around, but that should be all she wrote for this one. Early dying state for the Ghoul. Never mind, unbelievable fake. They faked out the Ghoul, they faked out the commentary on that one. It will still be a dying state, but, you know, they did better than they otherwise would have, and the gen does pop. looking for a pain res hook here. We'll find one. Pretty good pain res spawns for the Ghoul here. Clustered somewhat in the middle. Makeable from what should be pretty much every area of the map here. No real movement there. Checking out this corner gen. None there either. Okay. Keeping on moving and losing that gen. So the team have done well here to still work on the gens in spite of not an overly long opening chase in complete sincerity here. There you go. That's what Gaul can do. You can't give them an inch because they can get injuries even through theoretically uninjurable spots like that. So they get this. They bring down the pallet. Good play. Good play, but Gaul back on them. Ooh, just misses with the leap. Trying their best to deny window is Gaul. As they don't go pallet. They do go pallet and they'll take the injury. Oof. If they'd held their nerve, stayed under the pallet, they could have countered what Gaul was up to there. As it stands, it'll be another dying state. Oh, they go for the blind. What we were saying about... Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. They're going to smell blood in the water with a whiff like that. Gaul thinking they could get the hook and get an injury to spare. They're not able to. They do not get the hook. Steve in the nick of time. Denying them their great counterplays. And Steve just finding a window, getting to the pallet here, won't be able to make it. Dying state there. But you know that this is a team who are trying their level best to deny these hooks. There might be someone on the pallet save. There will not be. There will not be. And Dalita, instrumental in denying one hook, looking to do the same again here, but won't be able to. Gaul does head to the hook, does get pain res. Now turns around. Looking to turn one hook into a swift two, but losing the scratch marks there. What's gone on? Aha! Very audacious on Dalita. Gaul won't be fooled in that way. Putting themselves on the pallet and maybe giving up a bit too much here. Gotta burn this. Would have been very bold to have held onto that, to have not thrown that pallet. And that will be another dying state here. Oh. But still just loses another gen. Good team this. Good gen commitment. Putting on a lot of pressure. So even though it's been a pretty damn good start for Gaul, not too many overlong chases, barring obviously the hook denial. Still looking in a bad way. As there was someone around here. Hold on just a second. Gaul seeing ghosts right now. Another gen pops in spite of pain res. How is this happening? How is this level of gen commitment happening in spite of all the pallet saves we've also been seeing? This is an outrageously poor game for Gaul. As Ash takes an injury there. It should be a trade. It will be a trade. Dying state there in another pain res. Looking to deny the torch save. And they will. As you now have Dalita up ahead on Death Hook. Big opportunity this. Oh, but just goes around the wrong side of the boulder. Cancels that leap. They do not go window. They really should have done. Barring dead hard. That is a 3 survivor game at a pivotal point. Unless it's DS. It isn't DS. What an interesting game this is. And remember, there is no way out to look forward to for Gaul as well, so they are still in this. As we hurtle towards one of the swiftest endgames we've seen in a very, very, very long time. Trying to keep on this gen over here. Anticipating that might be the one that's moving. No movement here. Okay. Zooming back across the other two gens at school. Bit of movement here. Might be a decoy. You get the feeling there's far more movement on the most distant gen. Would love a leap injury here, and she gets it. But gonna make sure, yes, and a wise call to head back to the gen, which is moving heartily. As away goes Ash, but V sticking on the gen. V is here as well. You don't want to give this away. Or at least Ghoul was convinced that V was here. Yeah, and the scratch marks. Confirm it. Heading this way is V. Theoretically. That's Steve already injured. Not who you wanted to find with the power there. Oh, and that's a slow fall. And that is not what he wanted there. What on earth was that animation? One of the most bugged pallet grabs you're ever likely to see. And still they get the gen. That is absolutely unbelievable. The gen commitment here has been staggering. They get the gen, and they move around here. It is V. So that will be an injury. No way out in play, but Ash has that gate already. Moves through No Way Out very, very swiftly. The window wasn't there. They double back. Hang on just a second. This Ghoul is being fooled. This Ghoul is being fooled all over the place. Looking for an injury here. Dying state. We'll get it. We'll get it. There's none are free as well, so remember, pallets and vaults are blocked for a certain amount of time. So, 2 survivor situation. The gate's still in play here. This is the gate that was tapped. Can't find Ash anywhere. You've got a pretty good gate situation. This team needs to reset. This team needs to heal. Otherwise, Gaul still has a surefire way to getting a 4K. And there's Ash. You need to close this chase down as quickly as possible. Because all the while V could be moving another gate. And you don't anticipate too much in the way of altruism here. Always, what the hell is going on, Gaul? What the hell is going on with that? They're going to get the hook. Has V been able to locate a gate? Are they moving it? No aura reading is really hurting Gaul on this occasion. Only one life. Gate's open. And V's gone. So in spite of a spirited effort and some of the buggiest grabs I've ever seen, Gaul isn't able to do enough. Freddy gets the win, and that not only keeps him in play, that puts Freddy in a really, really competitive spot. So Gaul only gets 9 hooks there. V did not get hooked at all. So Freddy, first win of the tournament. Puts him on 33 hooks total. Gaul suffers their first loss. Also on 33 hooks, interestingly enough. Still no clinch scenarios. Still no elimination scenarios. But watch this. If Trickster gets the win against Mastermind, Lich is eliminated and Ghoul is eliminated. A Trickster win over Mastermind would put both killers on 7 points. Ghoul would not be able to make that up. Lich would not be able to make that up. Freddy would be able to make that up, so Freddy would still be in play. So, a Trickster win eliminates Ghoul and eliminates Lich. Very, very important matchup coming up here. Trickster versus Mastermind. Here we go. I get the sense that Lich is already eliminated since he needs Trickster to lose to Ghoul. Hold on, because you could be on something here. So Lich has 1 point, only 1 game. Lich could get the win in round 5. Put Lich on 4 points. 4 points, Lich would qualify if Trickster and Freddy do not win at all. So Trickster loses to Mastermind. Trickster loses to Ghoul. If Ghoul wins, Ghoul goes to 5 points and would leapfrog Lich. Yeah, absolutely right. Lich is done. Lich is eliminated. There is no path to the playoffs, alas, for Lich. Good spot. Very good spot. And that's a crying shame. A character with high, high hopes of not only a playoff run, but a deep playoff run. And among the first killers eliminated. Woof! So now, I saw a lot of people like, oh, I want Gaul gone, but I'm sad about Lich. Lich is already gone. This is clear. This is only a question of, is Gaul out of there? Trickster. In Gideon. Wouldn't have asked for this map. Does have the ricochet blades. Those could be very important. Let's see what he can do. Heading upstairs. Has been performing above what was expected of him so far, has to be said. Some really good games for Trickster. Using the blades effectively. Using the main event effectively as well. See if he can continue that run of form. Turning the corner here. Oh, needing the hit here. And gets it. Getting the kick. What you can do is kick here if you're Trickster. Okay, the blind isn't the worst thing in the world. Just keep them in this room if you're Trickster. Keep them in this room. You've failed to keep them in this room. There are scratch marks moving. Look at these scratch marks. There is a Ghost Notes user. You can't even keep up with the scratch marks. They're moving quicker than Gaul can ambulate. Okay, main event right now. Such a good position for main event with the ricochet blades. Gets the injury at least. Maybe looking for a little bit more than that. But no matter, because if they drop the pallet here... Chance for some ricochets. Nice. Well played from Trickster. Was obviously looking for a quicker dying state on Hanato there, who actually gets healed up, which is a damn shame. But does get what they needed, a dying state. He is firmly in with a shout here, as there goes Painres. Starstruck as well. Another maybe positive for this admittedly tough map. Starstruck looks to get a lot of value in these confined close quarters. Kicks again. Moves elsewhere. So there's the unhook, a quick unhook here. You get the sense this team is not gonna fall over without a fight. Not a team of pushovers. Already some pretty good moves from them. So it's Big Gem moving over here. No surprises if this were... you wouldn't be surprised if this were the one... If this were the one that got hit by Painres. Ricochet blades could be so important here. Injury there. You get the pallet burn. Okay. Maybe looking for a bit more there. They countered it well. Getting the kick. Getting rid of the pallet. And dropping down, looking for an immediate reload. Okay. Maybe circle around again, because this really is the scariest gem by far right now. You don't want someone to get back on it immediately. It also gives you the opportunity to kick this pallet, which might come back to bite you later on, if you don't get rid of it now. Alright. Maybe a bit of a slow start for Trickster. Map management for sure, but you can only spend so long kicking pallets on Gideon before it really does become folly of the utmost degree. Fog Files, one of the greatest Fog Files of all time. Deary me. Like a surprise squid. They send the fog every which way, but they're left floundering. Alright, gonna get another Painres here. And right back to that furthest along gen, which is regressing nicely. Still 5 gens remaining. There is movement across the map here, including right here, but this could be a really good opportunity for Starstruck if they're hanging around. They do not appear to be hanging around. Interesting. Okay, getting the kick. Moving in. As they were thinking about the unhook, but then forced away. Really good that for Trickster. Someone else now needs to move in for the save. Hanato's going to be heading downstairs. Getting rid of the pallet. They go for the blind. They'll get it. They circle around Trickster. Good play. Good play, but Trickster onto them, and that'll be a drop of the pallet, and hoping the ricochet blades can maybe do something here. Okay, that's foolish. Get the pallet kicked. And there goes a gem. And they get the unhook, so good coordination from this team. This Hanato knows his stuff. Sticks around. The ricochet blade's been a bit of a wasted add-on so far. Oh, and just losing out. Losing out on the opportunity to get the blade hit into the M1. What a shame. Main event here. Keep that laceration meter up. And they're just going to keep on turning corners here. Oh, lucky for Trickster. The main event was coming to a close. Needed that dying state sooner rather than later. Flashbang! It's perfectly timed from Cheryl. Didn't even know they were there. And into Champion of Light. a slap in the face for Trickster. Gotta keep on them because this is a pain res hook and this is a very, very important entanglement here. But gotta reload as well. Oof. A dagger in the heart of the Trickster camp, who were very happy with what their guy was doing, but it's all been denied with one good play from Cheryl Mason. We're seeing a lot of that recently, a lot of good survivor plays, a lot of hook denial. These big, big differential plays that ruin otherwise good game states for these killers. Trickster sticking to his guns, trying to get the blades out there. Flashbang somehow doesn't connect, no idea how. Maybe the foreground denied it just slightly. Zezzy injury. Dropping down below. Keeping on them is Trickster. Do you go Blades? Do you go M1? You go M1. You don't go M1. What on earth could that have been? Styptic, perhaps? Very strange. Obviously not dead hard. No hooks there. Oof, whatever it is. Trickster doesn't like it. Had to have been Styptic. Aye, aye, aye. And with some key plays here, this team are finding a way back in after what was not a bad start for Trickster at all. Felt very good about it. Cheryl does not give away any plays through the window. Fog vial there. And things are going from bad to worse for Trickster. Good tile for him. Good tile for him. Very, very tough to see a way out in that situation. Weird room, but there's a nice silhouette. A nice silhouette of the pickup, making it artsy, making it all A24. Pain res. Hoping that this happens before a gen pops. Big movement upstairs. You've got maybe time to head up, have a look, and then get main event if there's anyone here. This is the gen that popped the pain res. This is the furthest gen along. Just get the main event out there, why not? With the ricochet, you never know if it will hit someone. Give you some intel. Okay. That was sent in hope rather than expectation. Okay, getting the kick. Getting the reload. Altruistic team, is there any chance that the gens will not be moving as much? Because of that, it's certainly a possibility. Remains to be seen. Clearly, Pain Res has done some good stuff already, as it so often does. As an injured party lies ahead. Oh, the lack of scratch marks here is ruinous for Trickster. Losing people with regularity. This is the Ghost Notes and presumably Vigil combo. Here, don't be surprised if Cheryl has some kind of exhaustion. Shouldn't be DS if they've tapped that gen. Nope, good stuff. So, second hook stage here for Cheryl. Maybe things are turning around here. As Yui is broken out of nowhere. Potentially clean break. Maybe something's going on. Something's going on. A good survivor to find soon. If it's all possible before they heal themselves. There's big movement here. And Jill fleeing the scene. Could be Starstruck for a little while longer. How much longer have you got on Starstruck? You've got like 5 seconds. You've got to hope they make a mistake. And they will not. Unless they vault, but it's all over. In terms of Starstruck effective value, it's all over. The game clearly still very much to play for, in spite of the gen. Ooh, giving away a blade hit there. And maybe more besides. Main event would do so much good here. And there's no way away from this. Just some ricochets testing the water. Not going to happen. Another hook here. Hanato's around, but shouldn't find a position for a save. Do be careful of any flashbangs being dropped around the corner. Nothing of the sort. Another hook. You'd love to be able to hook Hanato for that potential pain res play. Someone in the basement! Hold on just a second. That could be a huge unforced error. Why are they in the basement? If Trickster can turn this into a main event, that could be a basement hook. Presumably on Yui, but maybe on Cheryl. Having a look down here. Massive barbecue value. There's Cheryl. Oh, as they don't burn the pallet. Actually a really good play. Maybe Trickster should have been anticipating that. Into a locker. Trying head on, but I think it's lost him the game. Deary me, they had the opportunity to just flee the scene there. They didn't. They wanted the meme, and in doing so, they've taken the kill. And this will be 3 survivors left. All to play for here for Trickster. Getting the main event out there. Which gen pops? You can't see because it's bugs. Brilliant. Presumably the gen upstairs. Okay. Heading that way. It will have been this gen. Leaves a 1-gen situation here. Bit of movement here. Worth a look. Get that progressing. Get the reload. Need as many blades here as you can muster. Remember as well, you do have those... Jesus. Sorry about that. Remember as well, you do have no way out for the end game. Need this injury. Gets it. And then just the M1. No dead heart here. So, might be getting pain res at a very, very important juncture. Gonna use it. Gonna use it. You never know if Jill and Yuri have been doubling up on a gen. Have one moving at pace. Barbecue and chili. No barbecue value at all. At the very least, there are scratch marks over here. Oh, snooze the ads, snooze the ads, snooze the ads. Oh, ho, ho, ho. I'll tell you what, everyone. That was like half a second away from adverts. Don't say I don't do anything for you. And don't say I don't do anything for Trickster, as we have a really good situation ahead of us here. The M1. Ooh, just getting it. Is Jill here for the save? No. Massive. Well, they are going for it. Hold on. Getting the hook here. The only unfortunate thing... As an archer throws the pallet. Oh, one ricochet blade connected, but it's not enough. As an auto turn. No, Jill gets the unhook. There's the injury there. Think they were starstruck? No. Nope, starstruck was on cooldown. Trickster reloads. All to play for here. Some good injuries. The gens are very, very, very slow at this point, but just losing Jill somehow there. Well played by them. Okay. Unfortunate in all sincerity. Aha! There's Yui. Throws a pallet. Some good blades out there. Gonna drop down here. Make sure they're not in the corner. They're not. As Hanato heals. Okay. Presumably Hanato and Jill are together. To be honest, if you're Trickster, you're delighted to see healing rather than gem movement. No pallet there. Don't worry about your blades. Go for the M1. Go for the M1. Why not? And there's a DC. Come on, at least stick around for your blood points. You've earned them. Big, big potential for barbecue and chili. No aura reading yet again. Oh, hang on. No, there is someone behind that gen. You can just spy them. So, that shows you where you need to go. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I and Trickster were mistaken there. Okay, get the bit. Heading upstairs. Oof. Unforced error there from Jill. Is Hanato on this gen? Certainly was. Ooh, dearie, dearie me. Because now, you're going to get yourself a hook here on Jill, but obviously on Gideon, one of the main issues with it in the Wild Card, no chance of knowing where this hatch is going to be. Needs a bit of luck, does Trickster. Needs a lot of luck. Where could it be? No immediate intel, visual or otherwise. Oh, nerves are high. The difference between a 10-hook game and a 12-hook game. I don't need to tell you, it is stark. It is stark, and he is not getting the luck that he needs, and he has not seen any barbecue, very little barbecue and chili intel. Just that one time where we spied Cheryl in the basement. It's the hatch. Hanato isn't here. Absolutely massive. They were waiting for gates, but they didn't know about no way out. Wow. What a lucky break this is for Trickster. Now you just need to make sure that you're keeping on Hanato. You don't let him flee the scene. There he is. GG. Workman-like finish from Trickster there. Getting the dying state, and that will be all 12 hook stages. And that is absolutely the start that he needed. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. 12 hook stages for Trickster. That does not necessarily mean that Ghoul is out of this. If Mastermind gets 12 hook stages, it will be a tie. It will mean a couple of things. It will mean that Gaul still has a chance, and it will also mean that Mastermind is through to the playoffs confirmed. Wesker on Badham. Wouldn't have wanted that. Not your ideal map. Especially when a 4K is what's required. He's going to do his best. At the very least, you do have a confirmed hatch and shack. But with Badham, it's all a question of whether you get to that stage, you know? Okay, using a fence here. But there's someone just waiting in the wings here. You might be better off if you're Wesker going after them. And you just... the scratch marks through him a little bit, no doubt about it. Oh, and they turn the corner. Okay, tough start for Wesker. By his standards, this is not what he wants to be seeing. Any chance of a bound along here? Oh, didn't wait for the 2 bounds. You can tell he's a little bit rattled already. Those are not the mistakes that Wesker makes. However, the survivors making mistakes of their own. Turn the corner here. They vault. And it's live. Oh, but still getting the hit is Wesker. A bit lucky there. Okay, getting me to the pallet. After all that silliness, you've got to be happy with the two injuries, but obviously needs to get in the hooks, soon. As V pivots to main. Pallet here, presumably it is. Now, can this work for Wesker? Yep, certainly can. They do find a pallet. Lots of pallets gone so far. You can burn pallets all day long. You need hooks. And he's going to miss out on an opportunity there. Maybe anticipating a dodge from V. He's all fingers and thumbs here. Doesn't know what's going on as V now has shack. One thing to Wesker's credit is that he has superior anatomy. Not going to be able to use. Doesn't have to use it there. Takes a dying state. Okay, so there is a Painrose hook on the edge of shack here. Loses a gen. That's okay. You can take a lost gen. Can't really take 2, especially on a map like this. He'll be on his way. As there's an injured party in the house. Downstairs gen is very interesting in that house. You don't often see that one. Bit of a rare respawn. As it's V on this pallet, and do they burn immediately? They do. They do not vault. There's another dying state. Absolutely massive. Exactly as the Ava unhook happens. And a bit of a carbon copy here. Dying state for V. Pain res. Keeping the gen stalled. 2 hooks, 4 gens remaining. Back into the house. As there may have been someone moving this. Tough to say, tough to see. In the kick. Maybe making the house as accessible as possible. A kick at the door there. Every chance that they have tried to start shack gen moving, indeed they have. It's V once more. And remember, superior anatomy. Ooh, hang on. Oh, almost an injury through the pallet. It would have been exceptional. There goes another gen. And because of the gen bug, we don't really know which one it is. Unbelievable. Oh, needed the injury there. Doesn't get it. Hard luck for Wesker. Hard luck when he can ill afford such hard luck. And there's Sprint Burst, perfectly managed by V. Oh. Sent off into the weeds by V. And just looking for some hesitation, isn't going to get it. They drop the pallet, as you see Jill heading off to Shack. And, oh, needs a bit of luck to go his way. He needs one of these more outlandish bounds to connect. He needs something to pull back the tempo, because as it stands, the chases are overlong and the gens are very, very fast indeed. At the very least, no pallet there, has to settle for the M1. Not a single bound has connected so far this game. This is not the Wesker to whom we've become accustomed. Needs this bound to connect. It won't. Jill has ridiculous distance there, not even sure how they managed that. A medium volt unpunished. Superior anatomy at least, and that will finally be a dying state. But what a rough game it's been. So unlike Wesker. And when we talk about consistency, Wesker, over the past 3 World Cup tournaments, has just had 4K after 4K after 4K. He has an average hooks per game of something like 11.9. It is truly absurd. And that should highlight the uncharted waters in which he finds himself submerged. As it is V, waiting for a chance to use Sprint Burst. Never mind, they've not got Sprint Burst apparently, or they're still charging it up. Whatever the case, chase is on for Vecna. For Mastermind. Mastermind not the only one having a bit of a howler. Downstairs they go. Sure red stain? Make them think that Wesker's faking. Oof, big gem movement here. Happy to be here, happy to kick. No pallet there, they're going to vault that. Could be a big play on the cards for a Wesker here. Trying to mind game them. Needs to pull something out the bag. And may have done so. They double back. Running the pallet. It is another overlong chase for Wesker. In his underground area in which he has no room to operate or no room to navigate. Great stun. Just in time. Things are looking grim. Very grim. Not just for Wesker, but remember, this has very, very important implications for Ghoul. If Wesker doesn't get a 4K from this situation, and it's looking unlikely, it's all over for Ghoul. Their campaign's over. Oh. And out of nowhere, an undetectable grab. The Dark Sunglasses purple add-on. Hides Wesker's terror radius. He pivots, and he gets a very important grab off the gen that puts pain res on it, presumably. Gonna double check that. No? Well, that's terrifying. That is absolutely terrifying for the Ghoul, because it means there's another gen moving even more than that generator was, and that might be, in all sincerity, that it's game over. Heading to Shack, which you would presume is the gen that's also moving. Indeed it is. Do they commit? They do. They do. And remember, you have got no way out, which they immediately activate. Oh, finally. A bound connecting on V Bunyasak. Been waiting all game long for something like that. And might have given away the M1. Not going to do it. Not quite. Moving around the pallet is Wesker. Good play. Doesn't hit. Doesn't hit. And that gets them live to go away. Not just a tale of misfortune. Wesker's made some misplays for sure. But my god, he's got unlucky with some of these interactions. As that, if that vault had gone through, he would have been seething. Okay. Alright, basement hook for V. You're hoping for the utmost of altruism from this team here. You also can't rest on your laurels. Remember, you need a 4K. You need everyone going on hook here. You can't wait for them to come to the basement. You need to go to them. What a bounce! Oh, but it won't be an injury, and that really is emblematic of the kind of game that Wesker's had. Not all bad luck. And that's not going to hit either. Just throwing Jill along the periphery and hoping that something happens otherwise. That's just not going to hit. That's just not going to hit. Are they going to go in for the save now? You really needed the injury there. Now your option's incredibly limited. Going for the M1. He'll get it. Are they going to go for the save? They are. They are. Okay, keeping Jill away from that ramp. They'll want the pallet. They don't get it. Are they going to get injured here? No. Jill has been thrown around the map 3 times without injury. There we go, finally. But again, you needed that dying state to happen far, far sooner. They've all left. It's all over. Wesker has had, by his standards and otherwise, just an atrocious game here. It will be 7 hook statuses, an easy win for the Trickster. And it means farewell and adieu to Ghoul. Ghoul is out of there. Ghoul cannot trouble the playoffs. See you next year, indeed. 7 hooks for Mastermind. So, Mastermind suffers his first loss of the 2025 tournament. 43 hook total there. Trickster, his second win. Mastermind has played all 4 games of his group campaign. He will not be a feature in round 5. It is wait and see. If the Trickster can get any points at all against the Ghoul, Trickster will take top spot. If Trickster loses and gets 7 hooks or fewer in the process, Mastermind has top spot. So it's looking like very likely to be a Trickster victory, number 1 spot in Group A, which would be a bit of an upset, in all sincerity. Ghoul eliminated. Fare thee well, Gaul. There was no way for them to be in first or second place. Executioner versus Huntress. Executioner here has to win. If Executioner doesn't win, they are eliminated. Huntress in a really strong spot and looking to keep that going. Executioner on Glenvale. Okay. So again, for those not appraised of the situation, Executioner needs the win here. Anything other than 3 points and he is out of contention. An immediate locker noise, huh? Mini survivors, perhaps. Seems like certainly someone who wants to run saloon here. Oh. Hoping he could catch someone asleep at the wheel at the gen. Not quite the case. Over to the door, give him that a kick. Oh, good injury. Went into a locker again for some reason. This Lara loves a locker. Get the window. Oh, good play. Anticipated where Executioner was going to send the M2. Countered it well. They don't vault. Drop down here. Right, so just faking out that M2 briefly should send them down to another level. It does. Someone immediately back on the upstairs gen. Oh, good stuff from Executioner. Kind of an educated guess on where Lara was going to be. Goes for the cage. Has to be said that Pop Goes a Weasel is a strange choice for this character, who obviously is always hoping to be getting cages rather than hooks. Gallows gen pops. Oh, God. I don't know what Execution was doing there. Trying to go up the stairs backwards for style, and another gen pops. Thankfully, this one will not, but a rough sequence of events. Oh, unsuccessfulity. Very, very good. So, injury there on Meg. who flees the scene. A weird little visual glitch with the trail there. Making a little lasagna heel. And faking out the M2. They do not drop the pallet. They do then. It will be the ice stay in another cage. Do you want the cage or do you want the hook? Gonna go for the hook. Pop goes a weasel could be very important in a situation like this, particularly if they've got gallows and maybe headed to that corner gen over there already. You're trying to look ahead to any potential 3 gens. There simply are none. So if you're going to keep this game under wraps, you've got to get gen pressure, and you've got to get it now. As Lara goes for pallets, they break it immediately. They do not. Well played. And avoiding the M1 is outrageous. Just anticipated maybe a dodge to the right there, did Executioner. The M2 goes wayward. Alright. Lara making sure that Executioner breaks the pallet. He will dutifully. Breaks the door as well. Right, so there's a couple of people upstairs on Saloon Gen. And, well, let me tell you right now, 2 hook stages just will not get it done. So something's got to give here. They just get the heal. Back on Meg. And maybe should have gone for the M2 there. The vault here. Oh, they just held up. They just held up, and it was a very good move. If they'd vaulted, they would have vaulted simply into the Executioner's waiting arms. They make no such mistake. And they just keep on going, and things are looking very, very grim indeed right now. Ah! Unbelievable work. Last second fake out the window. Now vaults. Moves back. Not a great place for the M2. With the upstairs and downstairs denying it, but there you go. Should be a dying state here. Waiting out dead hard. There it is. At this point, Executioner focusing on cages. Need to just get through the hook stages as quickly as possible. Pop goes a weasel, be damned. Oh, there's the uncaging. Hello. Executioner has found himself in an unbelievably advantageous spot right now. Out of nowhere, the opportunity to get someone out of the game. Wow, okay. That's very lucky for Executioner. Very unfortunate for Meg. It is a 3-survivor situation. It is another hook stage. But might it be too little too late? There's the injury on Sable. Nowhere to hide, showing the aura there. That was huge. Could he be bringing this back? Has my attitude towards this game been a bit too defeatist? Taking out the M2, keeping them away from the pallet. And there you go, another dying state there. Executioner is putting his foot to the pedal here. And maybe showing signs of life. Another pop goes a weasel kick. That gen nicely regressing with it. Outrageous that Shag has not, that Saloon gen has not popped yet, and that isn't even the one that does pop. Water tower pops. Lara's there, moving away. Well played. Is pallet gone here? It is not. Oh, and they just faked it out. The wrong call on that occasion. Now, this becomes interesting. Okay. David does get the unhook. Well played from Lara. The M2 seems pretty strong here. Well played. Free drop. There you go. Certainly a situation where you want to know exactly where the hook is as Executioner. So, hooking there. And you're hoping that in getting the unhook there, David wasn't able to get any progress on this gate. No way out, no Blood Warden, nothing in the end game. 4 Executioner here, and it is a 99 gate. Okay. David and Sable right there. I mean, all you can really do is afford them the time to heal, and afford them maybe the opportunity to go in for the save, but it doesn't look like they're going to entertain that at all. Sable might be playing a bit aggressively here. Give the M2 a go. And they've gone. So what will that be? That'll be 7 hook statuses for Executioner. Against a Huntress who's been having a very good tournament so far. Doesn't seem like it'll be enough. Right, Red Forest for Huntress. Home field advantage technically, though this is not a great map for her. Looking for some immediate intel here and not finding any. I'm continuing to not find any. Looking like a rough patrol. Were they on this hill all along? Did they go downstairs? Who can say? Ah. Here's Jen. And a connection on Sable. Dropping the pallet. There we go. Some very mean-spirited people are saying longest Sable chase. I could not comment. I would never comment. I would never say something so horrible. You nasty, nasty folks. How could you? It is a nice early hook for Huntress. That gets Painres out on what seems to be the only gen moving with any real gusto. Maybe a chance to check the downstairs gen? There's no movement there. There's no movement there. Ah, scratch marks. Heading this way. And there goes V. Okay, so very strong start with Huntress. And it's a strong start the Executioner could ill afford. With the relatively lackluster campaign that they've been having. That was almost ruinous for V there. That'll be a Volt. And that's a dying state, nice. So, can you turn it into another Painres hook? Yes, albeit with a little bit of walking involved. And then the opportunity to head right back over to that opening gem. And who knows if he finds Sable again. Get an equally fast dying state. This could be the beginning of an absolute snowball for the Huntress. They're moving this gen instead. And they flee the scene, okay. Getting the kicks out there, why not? Has Huntress Lullaby already been cleansed, by the way? Didn't really notice that, but... Look, I'm not pro generalizing levels of play based on survivors, but Sable, please. The Sable community. You need to get it together. It'll be a third hook for Huntress. As that's moving again. There was someone here. It's the other Sable. See if they can improve upon their opening performance. Fair enough. Injury there. Alright. Must be said. She's moving through the injuries thick and fast, and the DC there. It makes a lot of sense. With the DC, they're no longer playing Dead by Daylight, and many would say they weren't playing Dead by Daylight to begin with. Alley-oop! Oh, it unfortunately hit the Sable just coming off the hook, but a fun shot nonetheless. 4 hooks already. Again, that's 7 hook total needed. Things are looking very, very good. Things are looking beyond sensational. For Huntress here, looking for the hatchet. Ooh, not quite connecting. There we go, that will do the business. And, ooh, just getting caught on the ramp. They were looking for the window. They went to the wrong area. Could be another dying state here. This will be another Painrez hook. The final Painrez token, with only 1 gen popping. 5 hook statuses total. Huntress now has 4 gens worth of playtime to find 3 hook statuses. Feels very doable. We thought that 7 hooks wouldn't be enough. It now appears all but confirmed that 7 hooks, not enough. Not enough to stem the tide of a killer who's been performing at the top of her game so far. More of a miss from the Huntress there than it was a dodge. Very little movement from Sable, but the hatchet does not land true. And fair play to them. Doing some good stuff there. And this should be a hit. Alright. Put it a bit too low there, the Huntress, in fairness. And sent the hatchet into the drop pallet. Not an interaction you see too much. That was not a good shout from Sable. They were doing so well up to that point. Oh, it's a bot. Okay. I neglected to see that it was indeed a bot. Hey, do you know what? In all sincerity, I'm really using that too much, by the way. I will think of a different term before next stream. To be completely honest with you, it's actually a viable game state now. Now, I don't know whether Huntress has grown cocky, but really needs to lock in here to kind of bring momentum back, because this team have managed to make it competitive. Getting a hook there. That will tie Executioner. And this is important now, because anything short of a win for Executioner will have them eliminated. So with this hook, Executioner is eliminated. Bring down the Executioner banners and the bunting. Put the Executioner hats on the hat stand. He is out of contention. That's a hell of a shot from Huntress. No hatchets left. But they don't know that, so they might try and dodge here and walk into the M1. There you go, another dying state there. I feel like that's a bit of a shock. It is a shock. Yeah, there were high hopes for the Executioner heading into the World Cup here. Has performed pretty well historically. Just never was able to get it done. Right, as Gen pops over here. Nonetheless, in amongst all of the excitement here, credit to this team, who have fought back very, very well after a horrible start. Oh, and well done there. Every temptation to just bring the pallet down in that situation. Finesse as well. One of those where the team suddenly remembers how to play. Unbelievable stuff. There's the pallet drop, yeah. And the kick. Good patience from the Huntress. Does enough to get the dying state. They've got a torch here. They're looking for a save. Not going to get it. Ooh. Should just be going for the M1 on those situations. It's too small of a tile. Double back. And as they try and flee the scene, send the hatchet right there. Oh, it was not a million miles away. Going for the slug here, the Huntress, maybe with a point to prove. After the game moves away from her just a little bit. And then just as things were looking maybe salvageable, in comes Sable to put the finishing touches on the game. GG. GG. So it will be, in the end, a 12-hook performance for Huntress. Sable mains, I wish you well. You have not been well represented in this game. I think that's very fair to say. It just goes to show the difference in games that some of these killers are having. Alright, so to the spreadsheet. Huntress gets the win very handily over Executioner. It means that things are absolutely even on top of Group B, and it means that Spirit here has a chance of clinching a playoff position with a victory. Executioner suffers his third loss of the tournament. Just such a dismal World Cup for him, one to forget, and he is eliminated. As this went under the radar, and this could be big celebrations for a lot of people, as is Knight. That fell under the radar entirely, but Knight now cannot get more than 6 points. He will have no chance of entering the playoffs. So while it is upsetting to lose killers like Lich, like Executioner, be rejoicing, be happy, because Ghoul and Knight have both been vanquished. Sorry, that's very unfair. There'll be fans of both killers in the chat. I'm just going off of general vibes. I'm a weather vane. Whatever chat's opinion is, I follow, by and large. Nemesis now needs at least a point. Nemesis needs at least a point here. A point will keep Nemesis competitive and will, with a win against Huntress, put him in a position where he could theoretically take second place. If Nemesis loses to Spirit, then Nemesis is eliminated. Huntress and Spirit will both be confirmed playoff killers. Right, Nemesis on Larry's, fighting for his World Cup life here. Ideally, looking for a 4K. They're excited. And so am I. Here we go. Lethal Pure. Immediate M1. Decided to go for the M1 rather than the whip there. Just taken by surprise and maybe put yourself in a situation, like here, to get a very quick dying state. Shunning the concept of early mutation rate just to get on the board. And I think it's a pretty good call, to be honest, as a zombie pushes Nemesis up the stairs there. Didn't appreciate that. There's your hook. Barbecue. Don't need barbecue to see V up ahead, the least obvious sprint burst of all time. Pick up the vault. Turn the corner. They've got a pallet here. Did they get it? It was actually a little bit further away than we imagined. So now you want to get the mutation rate up, and oh, they're just playing it how they need to. Well done. Well, around a tight little loop like that, absolutely take the M1, moving on. No pre-drop of the pallet there, which you maybe expected. They were hoping that Fogval perhaps would do a lot more than they ended up doing. Doubling back is V. Now they'll be looking to get to the pallet, but it might be too little too late. Good whip. Poor. Committed to it early. And thankfully just able to find a line through the window to get the dying state. Okay. And that gives Nemesis tier 2. Just makes him that bit more effective. Tier 3. That's the magic mutation rate. 3 indeed being the magic number. There's your jet. Okay. And there's V up ahead. A lot of early aggro taken by V gamers this tournament. That certainly has been the case. Whether that be random or pointing to an underlying playstyle, we can't be sure. Get the whip out there, they go window. Should have maybe checked on them. Nemesis possibly could have kept them in the room there. Is that pallet breaks? Okay, maybe would have rather got the mutation rate here. Another pallet burn. Okay, just eating up pallets here. Are they going to go for that one as well? No. One pallet too far on that occasion. Doubling around. With there. Another important hit. Hello. Injury there. But maybe I'm more interested at this stage in having someone on death hook. So back to V. Pallet, pre-drop. They've done so much pre-dropping in this chase. You were almost convinced they were going to there. They do not. They double around. Another gen gone. It was a good start, but is this an overlong chase? It might be. But at the very least, the team are giving away injuries for very little reason. There's your dying state. So, second hook for V. 3 gens remaining. Not been getting too much eruption out there. Need to focus a little bit more on kicking gens. You've also got, of course, nowhere to hide. So no long range aura reading. And no short range aura reading. Oh, hang on. In fact, a lot of short range aura reading. 2 survivors. Someone heading to the left here. Try and get ahead of them. Do you reckon? They actually... Not sure of what he was seeing there. There was a fog vial, so maybe that begins to illuminate it all. Alright. Back on Yui. Drops a pallet immediately. Oh, zombie! What's the zombie doing? Did someone else take the zombie away? Or was that just the AI ruining a good thing? As it so often does. Good mutation rate there. They were looking to come back for the pallet and not able to do so. M1. Fleeing the tile altogether. I'm just not feeling very confident right now with the whip. So going for the M1 there. Another hook. He's forward for the game. 3 gens left. So away goes Dwight. Maybe you want to hold off on the gen if you're Nemesis. Good whip there. You want to hold off onto the gen until you get eruption back. And there is eruption. Give him the kick. So I've been moving in for the save. Can he be there to disrupt it? No, he can't be. He does have tier 3. So a good opportunity here. Open whip. You gotta hit someone there. You gotta hit someone. You can't go away empty-handed after a situation like that. And those are the little mistakes that have plagued Nemesis all tournament long. Good whip there. Another hook. Second hook stage. But there goes a gen. And Dwight moving that final one, which we know has progress, and there it goes. A rotten game state, and with nothing to look forward to in the end game. This is going to be tough to salvage. We might be waving goodbye to another strong competitor here in Nemesis. As that's huge. That's huge. Okay, it's Yui. Exactly the person you needed. The Unreal Engine teleportation. Not enough to ruin the whip. There's a full healing party. Okay, it feels now like damage limitations for Nemesis. And there is good news in that there's a full stack of condemnation. Everyone condemned. Contemned? Sorry, this is not Sadako. This is Nemesis. Contaminated is what I mean. Oh, and you would have loved it if that connected got you a dying state. Because now The timer's moving on. Gonna head back. There's the unhook. Good call from Nemesis to head back. Couldn't get the endurance here. Hold on, what are they doing? What are they doing? Why have they not left? There's a dying state. So, death hook there. But you want more out of this. Injury there, M1. Good injury there. Pallet here. Hold, hold, hold. And then do they move in for the save? They do, and they give up a dying state in doing so. Now, do you take the hook? You'd absolutely love to have one of these hooks right by the gates, but it's not quite going to be the case. As there's Dwight. Injury there. There's still a chance for Nemesis. Because they'll go for the recovery. They'll get it. Have they got time to get to the gate as well? They have. You would have loved it if this zombie would do absolutely anything. Alright, so they'll all be gone. Probably a way to have done that in a way that garnered more hook statuses from Nemesis, but no matter. 7. 7 hook statuses. The magic numbers here, 7 hook statuses would knock Nemesis out of the World Cup. Having a quick look at the spreadsheet. Yeah, absolutely. And if Spirit can get the win, or even the draw, she herself... No, that's not true. Never mind. Spirit needs a win to confirm her place in the playoffs. Can she do it? We'll see. As there is no movement there. Listening up above, no movement in the house either. Aha. As Bill is on the middle gem. Nice early injury there. And you can't give away free hits like that to Spirit because they can phase. And they can, well, theoretically get a dying state. Ooh. And Bill getting a bit mind flooded by the situation, it seems. Good stuff from Spirit. Opening dying state. And an opportunity for an early pain res. Another killer who's running this pain res tremors combo. Counter synergistic. We'll have to be looking at that maybe down the line. Bit of movement upstairs. Oh, is it V? Oopsie daisy. Balance landing. Damn shame. Or perhaps Scrim Burst or something like that. So going to go for the unhook. It won't be a trade, unfortunately. It will be an injury after the hook. The unhook, I should say. Then a phase for maybe a quick dying state thereafter. Yeah, well played from Spirit. V perhaps hoping against hope that there was a pallet still there. That, of course, went away very early on. So, from one unhook to a replacement hook. Second pain res stack in play. And no intel on which gens are moving. In fact, all the gens are blocked, so the pain res stack is not consumed. There is maybe an argument for tremors with pain res. You know, maybe you'd rather not. Whoa. Tempted to go for the early tunnel there. But fair play to Thalita. They run interference, ensure that they take the hit. And a few jitters there, a few frame skips, but nothing too disastrous. Oh, there goes Haunted Grounds. Okay, so as soon as the hook is obtained, and again, looking for the thrilling tremors up there. One place and one place alone that Spirit wants to go, to the house, to the gen. Where presumably V, the hopefully uninjured V, is moving the gen and could be the target of pain res. Well, has been the target of pain res, but more relevantly, the target of Haunted Ground. There you go, exposed hit. So, for maybe the first time this tournament, some actual honest-to-goodness Haunted Ground value. Phasing away the unhook here, and now Spirit's in a really strong position. Can afford to move from hook to hook, keep the pressure up, keep injuries in play. Breakdown on the hook is interesting, and no intel as to where the spikes have gone. Hello, Bill. Some intel as to where the survivors have gone. As Bill drops a pallet. Drops another. No. Injury there. Fleeing the scene is Bill. Never mind, staying on the pallet is Bill. There's your dying state. And there is gem movement here. It is Talita who gives up another injury and is stuck on the corner here. Maybe not needing to phase his spirit. Iron Will, perhaps? Seeming incredibly quiet. Incredibly quiet is Talita there. So, Bill slugged and picked up, in fairness. But Spirit still gets herself a hook. And once again, that's the gen that's moving in that house. Heading over there. So that is, what, 5 hooks. 2 more hook statuses, and Nemesis is eliminated. The path to Nemesis is survival. Very, very, very narrow now. Is there balanced landing to get for your way? No scratch marks there either. Very intriguing. Maybe Shadow Step. As they go left, very interesting, and that should be all but a guaranteed injury there. Never mind, Spirit. Bit too ambitious with the M1. Should still be able to get an injury. Alright. Being outpaced at this point. Good injury. Giving them no time to even think about where Spirit is, just phasing and swinging. And that will be a dying state, finally. Could still be. It's tough to know exactly who has pain res stacks to give. That is a pain res stack. And this is the gen that's moving, so heading over there as swiftly as possible. Getting the pallet kicked. Taking the chase. Oh, and there definitely is Shadow Step over here. This is ruinous. Especially for Spirit, a killer who really does, certainly in this tournament, rely on scratch marks. Somewhere over there is a boon. She's been unable to find it. Going for the phase again. Pips into the left. Dying state there. And with this, if she finds the hook, Nemesis is eliminated. Oh, his V is just moving a bit too quickly for the swing. And here we go, 7 hooks. Nemesis eliminated. Now, with 1 more hook state, Spirit secures the playoffs, which would be a bit of an upset. And it looks like it might happen. Firing dead hard, dying state there. The 8th hook, all important. Is she through to the round of 16? She is. She is. Still playing at full capacity because there is still the matter of winning the group or going through as runner-up, but the important thing is she has booked her spot into the playoffs, into the round of 16. Good stuff. Good stuff. As there goes Jen. Someone upstairs, someone presumably on this gen over here. Glancing. Watching. Gen pops and sprint burst. Keep it left. Whoa, 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 whoa. Bit thrown by V's pathing on that one. Oof. Just getting sent backwards around that car there. Not very efficiently run by Spirit. But there's the injury. Bill moving in as well. The Vault. Moving in. Oh, it's Bill! Has been scared away from the hook. V trying to move in. Will be denied there. Oh. The temptation to slug for Spirit. Pretty strong. Going to avoid the temptation, resist the temptation. Should be a kill regardless. It will be. And now we have a hatch situation with Beale. And a map on which there is no killer shack. So no guarantee. No guarantee at all as to where hatch might be. Going for the phase. Listening intently. Okay, doesn't seem like it's anywhere in Main Street. Listening either for the hatch or for Beale. Both incredibly noisy objects and individuals. I was going to say just objects then, but very nasty to call Beale simply an object. There's the hatch. Okay. And an injured Beale going for gate. Not going to be granted it. GG. GG. No mercy. The full 12 hook stages for Spirit. Good stuff there. Alright. So Spirit, with her third win and a perfect 48 hook group stage performance, is the first killer to secure themselves a position in the playoffs. Now, Huntress could match Spirit on hook totals and on points. Have a look at the seeding table here. Is Huntress above Spirit? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Right, where's Spirit? Spirit's up here! Okay, so not only is Spirit through to the playoffs, they are through in first place. So we can populate our playoff table for the first time. The winner of Group B is confirmed Spirit. They will take on the runner-up of Group G, all the way down here. Group G, obviously, still wide open. Nemesis suffers his second loss, 28 hook total, and he is eliminated. And it means also that Huntress is through. And we know that they are going to be the runner-up in Group B, so they go here. Okay. Fields are being populated. The playoff situation is becoming clearer. Round 4, Group C, Pig versus Legion and Plague versus Unknown. Okay, Pig. Pig in Nostromo, a big open map, not their ideal choice here. We'll see what she can do. Here, wink if you think you're going to make it to the World Cup final. Lovely. Okay. That's the confidence that we love to see from Amanda there. Still lacking that intel, hoping they're on this gen, because if not, this patrol is becoming ungainly. They are on this gen. Could it be a grab off the gen? Hoping so. Oh, not quite. Not quite. Still, could be a dying state here. It will be. Certainly get a hat on. Get a hat on just the earth itself there. You're concerned about Nia Carlson. You're concerned about them going for the save. However, you do have to take the hook at some point, so just going to go for it. And we'll get it, and it's pain res. And it's this gen over here which gets hit by pain res. Good stuff. Nia shining a light in the pig's eyes, maybe partly to warn, I think it was James Sunderland, of her approach. Not too worried about that. It'll be another dying state. And another hat on ahead at a very early juncture here. Top work. Then why not head right back to that hook? that you vacated earlier. As Lara, the concern there was that she had a Sabo toolbox. She does not. She has a medkit. Big movement on this gen. Oh, there goes Arena. You could pivot here if you pick, and that's what she's going to do. Stumbles upon the injured party, moving a gen along there. That'll be a trade. And no chance of DS or anything of the like. Brilliant trade on hook. You love that. Is this gen now moving, which is interesting? Oh yeah, of course, because they got Ruin. So Ruin's done. That will not be helping the pig anymore. It is what it is. You expect... Oh, there's 2 gens pop. That's rough. You expect to lose Ruin pretty early on if you're not protecting it with some other kind of perk. As Lara will have to drop a pallet here. You really want to force them to if you're pig. It's a tough pallet. You want it out of there. Oh, Nia Carlson immediately getting rid of her hat. You were hoping. Really hoping. They'd have some chance of them being kept out of the game for a bit longer. Doesn't connect with the swing. Lara begins to flee. And doesn't get hit there either. Oof. Rough exchange for pig. Bridge up there. There's your injury. Serena healed up. But still needs to get searching for that hat. Ooh, as they fake out the window in service of the pallet. They bring it down at the right time. Okay, overlong chase for pig at this point. Has to move away. Pallets being thrown regularly. Hold on. Oof. This one's tough. This one's really tough because Arena obviously has an active hat. So won't be moving the game otherwise. But if you're pig, I think you probably do need a way of making it a 3 survivor game, especially after that long chase with Lara. So going after this chase, question marks about whether this is the soundest play. Let's see if it pops. Okay, we just find Lara again over here. Maybe a pivot, not the worst thing in the world. And that chase does throws Arena off of her game. Hold. Slava just taking really good lines here. Obviously not making use of the ambush here. Not finding too many ambush kind of tiles right now as pig. Just these very lengthy walls. Oh, they did get got by that. Very surprising. For all the world, that looked like Lara was getting ready to fake out that window. As Serena gets rid of her hat, maybe should have committed to the tunnel. No matter. Pain res at a very important point. Takes her to 4 hooks total. That's pain res. Over there, James Sunderland right here. Body blocking Arena just gets his act together and lets her through, but that could have been disastrous for this team. Now, how's James on the loops? Doesn't drop that pallet. This could be an ambush for Pig. She's going to go for it. There you go. That's the power of the ambush there. And another hat on the head before the second gem pops is huge. Add to that. Make your choice. An exposed party somewhere over here. Could this be the turnaround that the Pig desperately needed? Little pain res, which is on this gen this time. So you've got your 2 gens that are moving, that one and that one. You have Lara right here. Very, very strange decision. Pig not going to be fooled by something like that. They do find a pallet. And just really tough to get an ambush when the survivor already has the pallet. As you saw there. Needed to get herself under the pallet itself and then ambush around. So goes window. Not bad for Pig, but they should still get the pallet with this. Oh. For just a moment, it seemed like they'd found the wrong path. They'd run into a wall rather than the pallet. We're going to get back around to it here. Holding his Pig, moving back around. Keeps on doing the same move, and Lara really wise to it at this point. Able to vault the pallet back again. Fleeing from it. Should be a dying state here. Second hook for Lara. The concern being there have been a couple of gens moving. If they both pop at the same time, doesn't feel like Pig is in a good enough position to take on the endgame. Bit of movement here, but not too much. Getting the kick and taking the chase. You probably are accepting that that gen over there will pop. You're just trying to get as many hooks as you can, as many injuries as you can before that stage. Where is this survivor? Wow, Zarina is gone and gone. Heading over to the ship. Not bad, this. A chase that means that someone else obviously has to move in for the unhook. As they do get that gen, James Sunderland, with an active hat. As they don't go for the vault here. Not bad from Pig, exactly what she needed. More ambushing to counter these walls. Zarina! Oh, just gives away the hit beneath the pallet. They won't be happy with that. First kill of the game. 3 survivors left. Pig's 7th hook total. Still regressing over here is that gen. That's very good for Pig. It informs her decision making. Tells her that she can go over here maybe. Anticipating some movement here. Indeed there is. A little bit at least. A little bit. There is still a make your choice survivor out there somewhere. No real idea where. And the gens are completely stalled. Brilliant stuff. Needs to get rid of these pallets. That's Lara over there. Lara, active hat. Not a key target at this point for Pig. You really want to find Nia. Want to find James. Stop them moving this game along. There's Nia, but maybe James is the slightly better target right now. Finds a pallet. Ooh. I think wanted to pre-drop the pallet, but instead the input cannibalized by the gen. Seems like that's what happened. And now big opportunity here for Pig. Plus, if you can get another hat on the head before that final gen pops, that puts even more pressure on in the endgame. And that will absolutely be happening here. Keep half an eye on Lara too, who's not been able to find the right station for their trap. Time may be running short. Okay, very good stuff. Game plan now. Find Nia Coulson. Nia Coulson is the key to this whole thing. To getting this back on side for Pig. Some very lengthy chases here, no doubt about it. But she's done some good stuff as Lara gets the hat. Very unfortunate, but this is a pretty good chase for the Pig here because it forces Nia off of the gen, going in for the unhook on James. Plus, you can make this a 2 survivor situation if you close this down quickly enough. You've got half an eye, however, on the hatch situation. There's the unhook. Nia Coulson now exposed with make your choice. Is there a pallet here? There is not. There will be a pallet around the corner here. Not a very safe pallet. That'll be all she wrote. Okay. So it will be a 2 survivor situation. This being the 9th hook for Pig. Very unlikely to be her last as well with how this game is looking. Fair bit of movement here. But no more movement than when Pig was last here. So, Nia Coulson not there. Probably fearing the exposed status they now have. No movement there, no movement there. Very good stuff. James might be looking ahead to the exit gates, searching for trap stations. There are scratch marks here. Heading this way, this would have been James. Got onto the trap station, then walked away, and Pig unable to find him. That's devastating. Finding James there would have been so so huge. Okay, well, never mind. Back to the gens. You assume that you assume that Nia has got back on one of them, although this is still regressing, as we can see from surveillance. Wondering maybe if the team are now vying for Hatch rather than making an earnest effort on the gens. Your supposition being that James was hiding, got back on the trap station, then maybe moved over here. Very irritating how you weren't able to find him there. Oh! Oh! Oh, distant James Sunderland noises. There he is. Okay, so it will be a 1 survivor situation. Hatch in shack offering. It's a bit weird on the Stromo. As we understand it, the Killer Shack Hatch offering does make Hatch spawn around here. We'll test the theory right now. Yep, okay, perfect. Although, things are still tough. These are horrible gates, as they always are on the Stromo, and Pig is not a great killer for patrolling them. And you get the sense that Nia is going to be quite schooled in the art of gate panel evasion. Oh, right there. They've gone. Jesus Christ, they've gone. Not a chance for Pig. Let's have a look here. Do you see Sole Survivor? Do you see Wake Up? No, just resilience, but obviously they weren't injured, so that's a moot point. Good lord, just exceptional timing on the gate. Did you draw a blade? Good luck next, okay. So that is just a 10-hook game for Pig. A very good game, but denied at the very end. So, Legion has a beatable total. Let's see what they can do. Legion on Garden of Joy. Immediate frenzy here. This will be sprint burst. Should still be... Never mind. You can't see scratch marks as Legion. And they have lost them entirely. Okay. There was someone going this way. Let's go upstairs. Okay, on a bit of a delay, you're going to get the frenzy out there. Immediate pallet drop? Nope. Someone on this gen? Nope. Have you lost the first survivor, have you? Have you lost the first survivor? What a horrible start for Legion. Maybe the Pig has nothing to fear. Wasn't able to get the 12-hook statuses, but things are looking pretty damn bad. Alright, finally getting an injury. And kicking the gen, okay. Say stand and drop the pallet. Pallet gone over here. Good stuff, Michaela. We're all very, very proud of you. Okay, get the gen regressing. As they come back, send it with a frenzy. Injury there. Pretty good, pretty good. Ooh, hang on, hang on. They take a bad line there. Could there not be an opportunity for another dying state that don't burn the pallet? This is risky, is it not? No, they're fine. In fact, they're so fine, they don't even need to burn the pallet there. They will here. Okay. Okay, so has Yui bought enough time for Michaela to be picked up, perhaps? No. So it will still be a hook. Gonna try and get back on this gen. Oof. The temptation to slug there for Legion. Palpable. They're not quite able to get it, at least. It was a different gen that popped. But then another different gen pops and things are looking grim. Okay, well, here's your chase up ahead. Getting sprint burst back. Send it with a frenzy. Keep him in sight. There she is, okay. All the way back to the hook. And all three are right here, but they're all just too far. Nothing Legion can do on this one. Okay. Couple of injuries, that's pretty good. And a fourth here. It's the kind of game state that Legion needs. They don't burn that pallet. Unbelievable. Right, we need to get back on the gen. Presuming that Michaela will be back on it soon. No, they're moving that one over there. Okay, get this kick. Lunge over here just for speed. And Michaela might be checked out of this one. I don't know what that was all about. Unfortunate pain res spawns mean you're not going to get pain res yet again. Well, Michaela might single-handedly be keeping Legion in this one, because it has been a diabolical game otherwise. Anticipating that people may be upstairs. That might be where the heal was going on. Here is Yuri. As they finally do bring down a pallet. Good shout. They've been faking the pallets all game long. Suddenly changed tack. Good call from them, and no injury there. Presuming that V is over on Killer Shack. Discordance over here. Okay. Going for the frenzy just to get there quickly. Michaela seems to be just done. If that's the case, why not leave them on the ground, where they're doing functionally very little? That allows you to put some pressure on the rest of the game. They might be moving that gen again. Get the kick. They're just so far apart, alas. You can't really get anything out of the frenzy. But Michaela's out there, just, I guess, checked out of the game, very strange one. And you get another dying state. It has been such an atrocious opening, but plays like that could bring it back. I think we all know what we're going to see in the post-game chat. Legion, boring killer, can't be bothered to play against Legion, why would you play Legion? That's my understanding anyway, that's my call. We'll see. Okay, so looking for the frenzy injury on Yuri. Look for the pallet drop there, makes a lot of sense. Good hit. Back to the hook. This chase is a bit scary. Obviously DS is a concern. That looked like Last Stand, perhaps. A different animation for sure. And there you go, in DS. As we were saying. Makes a lot of sense. It is what it is. I mean, they were just simply the easiest and closest chase target that we had. You are seeing that Vault animation, and there is some weirdness with Finesse right now. And Finesse with Resilience. Remind me to have a look at Fung's build here. I'm very intrigued. I think it is. I think they're exploiting a bug here. There's a bug that allows you to use Finesse with Resilience and get some quick rolls. That might not be what's happening, but things look very off, you know. I say, don't burn that pallet. Right, well, of course not, because you've got the super volts. Well, gotta leave them. Oh, could have gone into the building. I think they took a bad line there. I guess I'm the last gen. Right, there will be some build reviews at the end of this, but still got to be playing. Sprint burst, of course. Hoping that they maybe would fake out the pallet there. Of course they do not. There's your hit. Oh, and they don't burn the pallet on that occasion, and that should be a dying state. No, they've got another pallet. If you can play this well enough, that'll be a burn. Moving around, they vote immediately. Good call. Just a little starter step, good enough there. The slow volt, outrageous. There's your dying state, okay. So, 5 hooks for Legion. Again, the total to beat is 10. It is still going to be a very tall order. There is a hook hill going on, presumably by this gate. Gate's open. Sprint burst here. Oh. Would have been amazing if you could have found a way to vault that window quickly. Really want to interrupt the unhook there. Okay. Well, the only one who can effectively... Well, there's no one who can effectively body block here. Fung might be looking to use her super vault technique. But yeah, be fearful of that. And there she is. Oh dear. Oh dear, and you've actually lost. Actually lost the other two, so you've got to get the killer instincts. Head back around here. And they're healing up somewhere. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. No clue where they've gone. And that might be all over now. Yeah, I think that's all she wrote. They filled up over in the periphery. Dead hard from them. Thank you. No killer instinct. They must have been completely elsewhere. Oh, there you go. What a way to end it for you, for Legion. A whiff on the frenzy. Yui's out of there. There's V. Oh, Jesus Christ. Ruinous. Ruinous for Legion. If you could leave, I'd appreciate it a great deal. 5 hooks to their name. So, Pig gets the win. Legion suffers their first loss. Pretty diabolically bad game for Legion. It means that Group C is unbelievably close, and it'll be closer still. Closer still if Plague can get the win against Unknown here. If Plague gets the win, there will be 4 killers on 4 points with the 1 killer Pig on 5. Plague on Tober Landing. It's that iconic bubblegum weapon. Oh, and just spying a survivor past the base, the space base. That's V, and this will be the first chase. Objective Obsession V as well. And none of the Purge connecting. It will there. Doing well to turn the corner. And that cannot be far away from a broken survivor. And there it goes, okay. Broken status confirmed. They do not vault. Temptation always to fake on this window vault. That's what they do, and it'll be a first dying state. Good stuff. Can you find a pain res hook? Yes, indeed. Okay, good early stage for a pain res hook, but not too early. There almost certainly will have been some gem movement here. Very often you have early movement upstairs, and indeed that is the case right now. So, heading up, let's put some pressure on. As they vault. None of that really connected. And a gem pops. I don't think it's upstairs gem. Broken status in play as they vault. Double back. That's always good for the killer when they double back. Because the survivor has the momentum coming out of the window that the killer lacks. If you're vaulting that window, just keep on running. Because if you double back, you're playing right into the killer's hands, should they vault after you. Write that down. You don't often get Dead by Daylight intel from me, but I'll give you that one for free. Second Paymos token in play. Surely would have been activated on the upstairs gen. Yep, progression there. Okay. There is your injured party. She didn't grab her corrupt purge from a fountain. Maybe should have done, especially now that the injured party is being chased. Taking on Shaq. So they do go for the vault. They don't double back, and this will be Barring Dead Hard. Another hook. And clearly, pain res will not be applied here. But it's a hook that will do. So, 3 hooks to a name, still 4 gens remaining. Looking very, very strong in the early running. As Felix is off to the left. There's someone on the periphery, however. Who is it and where are they going? It's V again. As Kate Denson is having the most chill and idyllic game of their life here. Just moving the gens, no infection. Avoiding the ire of the plague. Meanwhile, it's hell out there if your name is V. Snooze those ads. Okay, and Kate actually wants some of the aggro now, and fair enough. That's commendable. Just connecting, good stuff. They don't burn this pallet. Just going to M1. Just going to M1. Could try and make the infection happen. But the M1 just gets them injured that bit quicker. They do not burn the pallet there, and if they don't see what's happening here, they'll pay for that. Ooh, they pivot away. Well played. Do they vault? Okay, do they make the same mistake? No, they do not. Very wise, Kate. Has to be a drop here. Isn't. They vault again? They do. Do they make the mistake now? No. Okay, things are looking pretty grim for Plague. This has been an overlong chase. They're almost farcically overlong. Then they get the pallet. Well, in for a penny, in for a pound. You've at least got to force them to drop the pallet. They don't drop the pallet. They drop this pallet. Alright. Horrible, horrible chase in this chemical trap. Just gonna eat that. Head elsewhere. But all the while, the V's are both healed. Felix has healed, got away, reset. Yeah, that aggressive. That's a 2-gen game. After a very, very awful chase with Kate. You do not want to be taking that kind of chase again. There you go. Infection connects on V. Big opportunity here. Death hook. If you can close this down. None of that connects. Lots of that did. They do get the pallet. Another chemical trap. Okay. Oh, but they don't get the blind for whatever reason. Or reading. 3, 2, 1. Oh, taking a wide line. Very wise. Very wise from V. Like, still not getting any of her corrupt purge here. And should she lose the game, that would be a big reason why. Not being able to benefit from the M2 at all. Should be able to get a kill. But is it too little too late? Kate up ahead. Going for the blind. Almost ran into the locker there and gave away another dying state. Well, that'll be the 5th hook. Okay, and we've helped. Oh, really aggravating body block from V. It was a really good call from Kate there, anticipating that once again the plague would be going for the vault. Didn't. You got Felix over here. Who gets away? Damn. So Felix will be gone, presumably. Question becomes, can you find Kate anywhere? Obviously, if presumably Felix trying to take some aggro. Not going to worry too much about that. Gate movement over here. It's already 99'd. And it's all over. Presumably Kate is right here. Okay, thank you, Kate. Yeah. And then we just wait for Felix to go, and that'll be a 2-kill, 6-hook game. Probably not enough, especially against the unknown. Unknown in Macmillan. 6 hooks to beat. Is there any movement on the gen by Shack? None that we can hear. Oh. Did we spy someone through the doorway of Shack? Yes, there's someone right here as well. Going for the UVX. Sprint burst. Looked like they were managing their sprint burst there, not entirely sure. Get the UVX out there. Get the M1 out there. No pallet there is very surprising. I think they were as surprised as anyone. And that will be a very nice, quick, early dying state for the unknown. Huge. Huge for the unknown. No Painers hooks to worry about with this build, so just hooking and moving on. A very, very good start. And knowing what you now know, they did spawn over here, going right back to this gem, which you anticipate will be moving to a certain degree. Sneakily sending out a UVX. Do you know what? The gem isn't moving all that much, rather than going full pop goes a weasel kick. Maybe you want to try and get an injury out there. Oof, faking out the window. Bold from Carlos there. If you're going to fake out the window, you need to actually, dodge the M1. Actually, it was an unexpected move. Drop there? Nope. Carlos very, very confident. And gets away from that and doesn't drop the pallet again. Will do on that occasion. Teleport opportunity there. Nice. Should be the M1. Carlos very concerned by the weakened status, but in being concerned, gives away the M1 hit. Okay, dying state here, and the basement hook. One key thing for the few killers who've run Bamboozle, not been remembering to actually vault. Something to remain aware of. Gonna make use of your perks. And plenty of movement here. Big opportunity for Pop Goes a Weasel. Nice. Huge Pop Goes a Weasel kick. As Sable's moving back in. Just hold here for a moment, then come back. Sable's actually not going for the gen, going for the basement unhook. This is pretty damn ideal for the unknown. Do they drop the pallet? Vaulting the window, circling around. magnificent. This be unknown. Forces them away. Someone else will have to come in for the save. How about you just teleport, get the kick here. Now Lara on the left-hand side, possibly thinking about moving in for the save, not able to do so. Sable ran to the gen. This isn't Sable, that's Ada. Sable now circling back. Yeah, she still wants to make this play, but she's not going to be able to. Surely not, it would be a trade. Oh, it's Lara. Lara? What was that pathing? Lara, like a centrifugal force, circling around basement. In fairness, it does allow Sable to move in for the unhook, but that would be 2 in the basement now. Make sure that Carlos doesn't get any heroic notions of going for a save. Get the hook. Wowee, okay, look at that. 5 hooks already. Unknown is 1 hook away. As there's Ada just spotted circling back in. And they double back. They're not going in for this. Unknown is 1 hook away from a tie, 2 hooks away from a draw. 2 hooks away from a win. And with the game state that it has, it's looking very, very likely they're going to make this happen. As Carlos moves back in, pivoting back. Just need 1 more hook state from literally anyone in the basement. Or indeed, you could just go after Carlos here. Still get the pallet. They don't. This Carlos has been very, very confident with the pallets. Into an Ada. In fairness, good play from Ada. Good play from Ada to trade 1 for 2. And good stuff from Carlos to take aggro without actually taking the dying state. That was huge. 2 survivors here. UVX right in between them. Connects on Sable. So that is the tie confirmed, and with just 1 more hook status. Do it for a bit of flair. Ooh, unfortunate. With 1 more hook status, Unknown gets the win. And that should be it. And indeed it will be. Maybe could have played a bit more ruthlessly on this one. Maybe could have... could have maximised the damage here to secure a 4K even sooner, but won't be unhappy about the state of the game. Dead hard. No such problems. 3 survivor situation, and now the dominoes may begin to fall. So where goes Ada? UVX connects. Pretty good window that. You can very easily tell when they're going to go for the vault as opposed to faking it out as they go window. Double back, well played. And double back again. Okay. And then they do. Yeah, fair enough, Ada. Fair enough. Not too shabby. You could make life easy on yourself by maybe not even chasing Ada. But where's the fun in that, I suppose? UVX. Now they're in a spot of bother. That won't connect, just overshot it. Fair play, Ada. Double back is a great play, yeah. They're not scared of vaulting. And they will on that occasion. Wow. 3-chain game. Allows the team to reset as well. Once again, bamboozle, unbound. There are things that the Unknown could have been doing there. Maybe playing a bit lackadaisically given the state of the game. As Carlos just sees the Unknown and moves away from the jet. As Sable gets the unhook very quickly. I mean, who knows? Stranger things have happened than this team bringing it back in the way that they might be about to. There are clearly some very good loopers here who have maybe been unfortunate in the game that's been presented to them. Carlos, we know, is confident around the UVX. Taking some very good lines and not throwing the pallets immediately. Doing stuff like that. Maybe Unknown has lucked into this game state, to be honest. This is not a team who I think are accustomed to giving away losses. Such as the one they're maybe staring down the barrel of here, as that won't connect either. Okay. Oh, after all that, could have got a free hit on Carlos, but already committed to the notion of pivoting as Sable will look to dodge here. And will just do enough to get to the weakened status. Well, well, well. Things are looking bad here. Okay, M1 there is huge. Quick UVX. Send it immediately. They dodge. Teleport opportunity up ahead. Do that. Are they wise to this? They are. Well, actually, no. Imagine a dead hard there, by the way. Bizak, thank you for gifting 6 months in advance. That's unbelievable. Thank you. Take a pause from the commentary to thank you for that one. Right, get pop goes with Commander. Finally, use Bamboozle. And just get rid of the pallet as well. Just brute force this one. You don't want to get too in the weeds here. Oh, not enough distance on it. You felt like that had a chance. Honestly and sincerely. You thought they'd moved away. They had not. Okay. They're really confident on these pallet mine games. They've not lost a single one. So you really want to try and get them to vault. Now. Oh, hang on. Hang on, that should be all she wrote. And Unknown able to teleport back to Shack, so... Oh no, no they're not, because Carlos is dispelling, hang on. Not quite able to do so. But... don't want to take the injury. Play it safe, play it cautiously. Shut the hatch. Ah, maybe you could have taken the injury here. Yeah, they've chosen a conservative approach. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite the Unknown. Oh, there's Carlos. Okay. Very good time for the UVX to come back. Good connection. Nice. Good stuff. From the Unknown, 12 hooks. Handily defeating Plague and keeping... I was going to say keeping the group wide open, but let's have a look here. Let's have a look here. So 12-6 victory. Unknown. 31 hooks, 7-point total. Plague, her second loss. 21 hooks. Let's resort. Now, there could actually be an elimination. Let's have a look. Plague could get the win against Legion. If they did so with the full 12 hooks, they would be on 33 hooks total. Eliminated. 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 Plague cannot get second place now. There is no chance. No chance at all for Plague. Everyone else still has a chance here. Unknown might actually be a bit precarious here, because would be certainly relying on a couple of ties, I think. Maybe. Maybe, at least one tie. But Plague, there is no chance. Plague is out. Joins the growing list of eliminated killers. Other than that, all to play for in Group C. Very interesting indeed. Trapper has had a perfect campaign so far. Looking to keep that going, it will be Trapper versus Cannibal. Cannibal is eliminated with a loss. Really needs to win. Technically keeps hope alive with a draw, but Cannibal needs to win here. For Trapper, it's win and in. Trapper on Borgo. Was there a Salty Lips offering? There may have been. Is someone planning to go next? The board will take a view on any such situations. Forgotten Ruins is not where any killer wants to be. I say this with sadness in my heart. It is not a great map for killer. What one might do is try and deny a portal. Oh my lord, there's a big exclusion zone on the portal for traps. Try and deny a portal like that. Move through. Because people don't tend to go there unless they're already in chase. And, you know, generally speaking, looking behind them. That trap could get the business. Huge exclusion zone around the portals, yeah, for the traps. No doubt about it. You could do something like this, like set up an area around the portals. Trapper not too au fait with this map, so kind of working out new strategies as he goes. As there's another bit of gem movement over here. Leon. Not burning the pallet. And just too long of a wall for any of that to work. Oof, well, at the very least, the pallet does get through, but that was not what Trapper wanted to do. Did Leon see Trapper put the traps down? No. Okay, so immediate value from the portal trap there. A hook over here. Very good stuff. Maybe trying to get the snowball going. So a trap here maybe will fool someone, as they do realise that there is a trap on that portal. However, the very fact that they have disarmed that portal surely means that there will be someone over here. What one could do... How close can you put this to this portal? Hang on. Probably not there, but like, how about around this corner? Really playing around the portals here, and on a tough map, these are the kind of strategies that you need to employ. There's Trapper, that one was mainly for aura reading, and you find some aura reading here. Now you want to make sure they don't think you've seen them, but of course you have. Injury for Meg. So clearly, not a fantastic game at the moment for Trapper. Lots working against him, but Trapper can snowball. That's what we've seen time and time again in this tournament and otherwise. Not a great move on the window there. Big decision from Meg. So they fake out? They do not. Got to move elsewhere. You could maybe preemptively set this up on Shaq. You are already, of course, looking ahead to the exit gates. So maybe a trap on this panel and a trap on the other. Big disarming going on across the board here. These traps are known entities and are being dismantled routinely. That hurts, of course. It's not a good sound as Trapper to hear your only effective means of agency being countered. Snap after snap after snap. As that's Meg, and you got to be thinking about a way to close this chase down. So, rearm the trap. Rearm the trap, use the haste to circle around. How's that worked? It hasn't. As another trap gets disarmed. It's exactly the kind of nightmarish game you did not want as Trapper here. Vaulting through. Vaulting back. As someone comes over to Shack to specifically disarm that trap as well. And just, I mean, what can he do at this point? You're hoping for just an omni-bungle in the end game to bring this back, but there's no means of effective moves from the Trapper. As there's Sheva ruining the chase for him with the disarm. Go through the window. Okay, well, at least it's a ninja party who's moving away from Shag. There could be something here for Trapper. Whoa, okay, good move from Sheva. Completely foiling him there, and then vaulting through the window. It's this long wall that we've been seeing a lot of in Borgo, but well countered by Trapper, and it will be another hook. And at this point, you're thinking damage limitation. A 2-hook game is a gimme for Cannibal. 4-hook game, 5-hook game, you know. We've seen games have those kinds of numbers before. It is not going to be likely, but it at least gives Trapper the vaguest chance. And there's another injury. If you can get 2 people on a hook at the same time, all of a sudden, you feel like there's a chance for a snowball, but just as you say that, a very quick unhook there. Vaulting through, good move. Meg now cannot get away, it will be a dying state. Will it be a hook is the question, because they have found a way to die under the pallet. Okay. 3 hooks. Just inching closer and closer to the realms of respectability. With these chases, with these dying states, and gotta get these traps reset. And it just means, these hooks just mean that Bubba won't be able to effectively sleepwalk his way to a victory. You know, it means that the question is at least being asked. It could be a tunnel. And Sheva absolutely going to deny that for taking the hits. Going for the pallet burn. Meg around here. What's going on here then? Okay, it forces another hit from Sable. Now all of a sudden, if you're Trapper, with the amount of injuries that have been given away trying to protect Meg, why would you do anything other than just commit here? Slow vault. They want the DS pickup here. This is the easiest slug decision of all time. As you saw Sheva, yeah, move over here. Stopping, staring. And sprint burst makes a lot of sense there. It's a daylight robbery! It's a daylight robbery of the Trapper! A dismal ding! The only reward of a hit that actually did connect, but didn't for some reason. And you can't have robberies like that when the game is already going so awfully. As Leon circles around Killer Shack. Dying state there. Absolutely unbelievable. At least Trapper will be getting a hook here. They've still not disarmed those traps on the gate panels. There are no 99 gates. There's no progress of any kind on these gates. They are focusing on the reset here. Injured Meg fleeing the scene. Sheva, of course, has sprint burst. That will not deny the injury. But all of a sudden, Sable moving in for the unhook. Hello, now. And still, no movements at all on any gate panels. Reassurance is not the end of the world there. Could be a dead hard here. That one stings. Into Lithe, it stings even more. They double back. They do not. Oh my god, auto-aim. It's been the game of auto-aim. They do get on the gate panel. They have disarmed the trap. Meg, dead hard there. Easiest diagnosis of all time. Reset the trap. And you really can consider the slug once again. Leon, in a trap over here. Tries to get help from Sable. Won't be able to. And he's going all out for the slug. He doesn't want to give Cannibal even a whiff of a chance of the win here. He wants to end the Cannibal's campaign right here, right now. Moving over to Sheva, who's moving the gate once again. Leon on the ground to the left. Sable can get the pick up there, but crucially, they can't get the other gate open. Not yet. That's not truly 99. Sprint burst for Sheva. Well diagnosed from Trapper. Taking a line that keeps them from fleeing him. Meg is still in dying state. Leon's been picked up. It will be a hook on Sheva. Meg's still somewhere here in the dying state. Okay. Gate moving over there. Gotta reset this. Leaving Meg on the ground because there's two folks over here, both injured. Probably going to get the gate open before Trapper's able to get over there. But then the question becomes, do they want to be here for their teammates? There's the noise. There's the gate. Where's Leon? There's the unhook. They've got to disarm the trap. Ooh, they're not going to. They step in the trap. Then they get helped. Sprint burst there. Leon over here. Gate's still not open. Dying state for Leon. Moving back. They're pivoting away from Shaq here. Do you see anyone moving back to the gate? You're going to get someone here. You're going to get someone. In fact, Sable! Oh, just avoids the trap. Okay. Keep the game ahead of you. Give yourself a chance of a hook here as Sable has pivoted to the periphery. There they are. Dying state there. Take this hook. Hope that Sheva and Meg are playing cautiously, resetting. They are. They're healing on the line, which is actually exactly what the trapper needs to happen. What you might do now is see if they're moving in. You could even put that there, see if that has any chance of catching anyone at all. Okay, so Trapper going to head back to the line. Here comes Meg. Sheva's going to be in the mix somewhere as well. So crucial, by the way, that they weren't able. They weren't able to open that gate. Does Meg see that trap? Surely they do. They do. They do. Injury here. Finally, not denied by auto-aim. However, Meg has to take a wide line to avoid the trap. Isn't going to be able to get to the gate panel. Isn't going to be able to get to the exit line. Dying state there. Got to take this hook because they're too close to the line. They can crawl out. There's the unhook. Now Sheva, in all likelihood, pivots back, gets the other gate open. Maybe goes to recovery on Leon. They've already got the recovery on Leon. And the gate's open, and they're healing. Hold on just a second. There's Sable. There's Leon. That leaves Sheva. That leaves Sheva. Oh, who circled back around somehow, gets the unhook. So, there'll be no kills. It will be a 4-E, but the important total here is 7 hook stages. It's a viable total. It gives Trapper an honest-to-goodness chance. If Cannibal has a rough game, he might have salvaged something here. GG. Okay. Cold Wind for Baba. You can call this home field advantage. You know, the sepia kind of tones. It is reminiscent of the Sawyer farm here, so Cannibal will be feeling right at home. Looking for an immediate chase, and real likelihood that there's gem movement over here. If not, probably pivoting back to Shaq. There you go. Opening chase with Varela. Oof. Well played by them. Not bad. Not bad revs from Bubba. But well countered nonetheless. And getting the pallet stun. Not easy to do against Bubba. Oh dear. Honestly, that could be all she wrote for that one. Are they sticking around this tile? Hard to say. You do the revving, the aura reading. Gotta head elsewhere. Tough opening this, could be all to play for Trapper. Trapper Camp will be loving the plays they're seeing immediately. The ineffective chainsaws. Last one makes a lot of sense. Is there someone hanging around with that? Worth a look. Just had a sense. Blast mine. You see no one with the chainsaw revs with that aura reading add-on. go for a locker search, and he hits the jackpot. Needed to play like that, especially with how things were going. As a gen does pop. And another one soon after. It's a sprint burst for Jake. Seeing a lot of sprint burst so far today. Including right there for Jake. Just, oh, you could have had one there. Bubba maybe playing it a bit too aggressively on the chainsaw. They can't go window here, however. Wanted to hold up just a bit longer, just in case they did decide that they wanted to vault. This might not be enough for Bubba. Oh, certainly not if you're not going to rev. They had a pallet regardless. Get the 3 revs out there. Give this a go. Just find a way to sneak past and get the pallets done. These pallets have been ruinous for all of these killers, really. Maybe an era of brutal strength. And enduring could be on the cards. It's a Railer, doubles back. And Lithe, it looks like they're after. Possibly, possibly. Okay, doesn't get the stun there at least. So there's hope for Bubba. No immediate drop from Morella playing this well. Right, M1. Needs to get an injury. Needs to get an injury. 2 gens remaining. It's been an outrageously poor game for Bubba. And going to pivot over to Nancy. And gets a reward for doing so. Okay. Poor Nancy, who has really borne the brunt of the Cannibal's aggression here. Getting the hook. Turning that into a Pop Goes a Weasel kick on a very important gen. Eventually. That's another gen, Pops. It's just been one of those games. At least some aggression there. Oh, dearie me. It's this gen that pops, meaning that this one is still moving. Oh, and it's a Rella. No, it isn't. I thought I could hear an injury cry there. It was David. And finesse countered there. It's another hook. Okay. Keep an eye on the hook tally because 7 is the required total for a tie. 8 the total for a win. Cannibal can bring it back in the end game. Another one of those killers who can snowball it if you let him. So, this thing is not over. Can he build on this momentum? There are 2 survivors in this corner. You certainly want Pop Goes a Weasel out there. Oh my god, a kick without Blast Mine. What a concept. As Jake Park fled the scene in this direction, you'd love to find a way to stumble upon Nancy Wheeler, get the dying state there. Is that going to go window? They don't make it! Ooh. What a prediction from Baba. Still regressing on this gen. Getting the hook. That'll be hook number 4. Right here. Gotta get back to the other gen, though, because that one's also being pressured. By 2 people, in fact. Oh, they both come off of it. That's massive. That's massive. And I think that could be Nancy Wheeler pivoting off to the left there. They're behind those canisters. Oh, my God. They have given away a very, very, very important hook with that one. And now Baba starts getting momentum. Gets another hook. Gets Pop Goes a Weasel. Goes back to the other gen. What a turnaround this could be. Hook number 5. Back to the other gen. It's moving, but you don't see a way that it will be completed. Not with the Pop Goes a Weasel kick. Not with how close Baba is already as there flies David. Heading off in that direction. Actually a fair bit of movement, more than you maybe thought there would be, but still. Nothing a good Pop Goes a Weasel kick can't fix. Jake was here, Jake is still here. Okay. Not a great line taken. Can you sneak an M1? Desperately close, but not quite. Get a little check on the gen here, still aggressing good. The other gen now could be moving. Wouldn't be surprised if Umbrella were on it. Right, bamboozle here. Push them around this way. Oh, no, just fucked up the pallet. Quick break there. There goes that gen. No surprises on that one. Now, Jake, if Bubba gets the hook and gets the kill, this is not enough. It's not enough. This would be 2 more hook statuses. That would get the tie, but Bubba isn't in this for the tie. Bubba really needs a win if he's going to take this tournament back. And he finds David King to the right-hand side. David King, against whom he had a really, really good exchange earlier. Going for the M1 hit. Because remember, David King does have finesse here, so you want to counter that. You need to close this down quickly. No gate movement over here is a godsend as David slows down, so that'll be a pallet stun. It won't be. Do you vault? You just flee cowshed? No. Back to the pallet. Will be a drop here. Getting the kick. Azarella already has picked up Jake. You just needed a bit more time. You also needed to close this down just that bit more quickly. Got a bamboozle vault here. Oh, didn't anticipate the hook. Didn't anticipate the hook. And that is absolutely awful for Bubba there. It'll be a tantrum, and now the chase continues. Shack pallet thrown. David keeps on moving. Now trying to get back to the other gate. They've not opened it yet. They're not healed yet either, which is interesting. You would expect a full reset here as they 99 sprint burst. Oh, you gotta go chainsaw. You gotta go chainsaw, otherwise they can body block easily here. Nice stay there. Nice stay there, but forced out. But forced out. So it'll be a hook. And unless my math is incorrect, it will not be. It will be 7 hook stages for the Cannibal. It's a tie. It's a tie that doesn't really suit either competitor. Cannibal hanging on to dear life, but eliminated in all but the mathematical sense with that. Very disappointing, just as he was gaining momentum at the end. 7 hook statuses there. So, Cannibal with the tie, 23 hook total. Trapper also with a tie, 31 hook total. Let's resort this group, although that does literally nothing. Okay, didn't need to do that. Nurse and Trapper tied on top, but Nurse has first place with the superior hook differential. Cannibal technically does have a chance. If Cannibal gets to win against Twins, they could leapfrog whoever loses out of Nurse and Trapper. But whoever loses would have to get just an awfully low number of hooks, and Cannibal would need to be near perfect. Not outside the realms of possibility, but low chances. Alright, interesting. Twins are eliminated. And it's such a shame. It's such a shame. But with 2 killers on 7 points, there's no way the Twins can get second place. So they are eliminated. So we have our first, what we call dead rubber game of the World Cup. Twins versus Chucky. Neither killer can get through to the playoffs. They're just playing for, you know, playing for pride at this point. See what they can do. Twins, Chucky. Swamp for Twins. Just looking to have a little bit of fun out there. Obviously eliminated from playoff contention, as is Chucky. They're going to get Victor out, see if he can make any kind of big, fun leaps. The Victor snipes, as they're called. Maybe find a vantage point from up here. No movement on that gen. Could be movement up on the jetty, indeed there is. Dropping down to the left. Okay. That is actually not a counter against Victor. Victor can search a locker, hold the survivor in place for plenty of time for Charlotte to head over. So in case you were thinking, oh, they've struck gold. Okay, do you know what? Fair enough, they have actually struck gold. I, and maybe Charlotte, thought that they were held for much longer in that locker. No matter. Still an injury and still a chance. Oh, 2 pallets? 2 pallets beneath the jetty? That's ruinous. Still a chance for a dying state here. As they'll get to the window again. Not a fake out. There'll be a dying state. Okay. So would have liked the hook that bit sooner, of course, but better late than never. Says a hook looking for a far along gen, and this is a very, very good gen to keep proper as a weasel. No, it's hide on the left. Shows you the aura. Allows you to take the chase. And Victor looking for the dying state here as 2 gens pop. What a shame. Okay. Good dying state there. They've TC'd. They don't want any of that business. Oh, is Victor not able to latch? On top of the head, not able to connect. Does on that occasion. Good stuff. There's the unhook back there, but Charlotte going to take the hook. As the bot crawls beneath a pallet. Interesting. I honestly didn't know that they could do that. Or that they even thought to do that. Huh. Fascinating. Right, so maybe was hoping for even more out of that situation. Credit to the team. Chose the right time to get the unhook. To limit the damage. There's the unhook over here. The bot is self-healing. And that's just a gimme for any killer, really. Ooh. Really is a gimme, you know there's going to be no DS, no endurance. It's the kind of mistake that really only a bot would make. There's another dying state there. Twins playing true to form. True to their character. A lot of slugging happening already. The DC against the Twins is quite interesting. I mean, at that point, what game are you really looking for? Probably not Dead by Daylight, to be perfectly honest with you. As Meg is here, but not Michaela, sorry. Sable is also here, looking for a save. Twin's gonna deny that. Good injury there. And things are looking very, very good. Continue to look good for the Twins. What a performance it's been. If only they could have had this a bit earlier in the tournament. So, the unhook around here. Moving over, presumably to Shaq. That gen's still regressing. Okay, time to get Victor out. Oh. Injury noises. It is Sable. Oh, and Victor has been relentless. Absolutely relentless this game. Another dying state, another hook. Still 3 gens remaining. Plenty of buffer for them. Is that someone going for a torch save? Alright, back to Victor. This has been the key pressure point so far, and it is once again. And there goes Arena. Been a lot of this just hiding on the periphery. It just hasn't worked for them. The stealth, for whatever reason. It is a map that can allow for a lot of stealth. As the bot is running parallel to Charlotte and expecting something to work for them with it. They don't go for that pallet. It's an unbelievable dead hard. Okay, there you go. There was method to the madness, apparently. Okay, but the madness has gone too far. There's a dying state. The bot dead hard. Well, I tell you. I didn't think they had it in them. And then comp corner. We're seeing a very special bot here. Do you think the Meg who DC'd was hitting a dead hard like that? Possibly not. Right, so. Kick the gen, get that progressing. Control Victor. Oh! Was that Sable? Okay, well. It's the... What? What? What could the issue be? That's the easiest Victor to Charlotte transfer you've ever seen. Could be a good thumbnail there, though. Feels like good thumbnail potential on that one. Scratch marks. Okay. And Meg gets a gen. Good on you, Meg. Good on you. We'd love to see it. That hook is not there any longer, but there is a makeable one over this way. Can you stumble upon Meg as they move in for the unhook? They get the unhook over here. There is Meg. Saber's going to go for the unhook. We'll trade. They'll kick. Hello. And... Ooh, hold on a second. Go on, you'll get it. Go on. You'll get it. Go on. Go on. Yep, you got it. You got it. Good save. Good torch save. GG. Alright. Do you want to try again? Close. Very close. GG. GG. The fact that Sable waited, I know. Just like, let's see what Meg can do. Alright. 12 hook stages. Very strong performance. Can Chucky match it? We will see. Okay, Chucky on Gideon. The second time that Chucky's been put in Gideon this tournament. Rather unfortunate. Not the map you want if you're Chucky, although you do have the opportunity to get some pretty radical slices and dices out there through multiple pallets. Yeah, I use the word radical. I stand by it. It is radical. Okay. So, early chase here. Maybe like something like this. We're going around this way. Oh, what a hit from Chucky. They tried to spin, but in doing so, I think they just brought themselves within the path of the slice and dice. Very, very good stuff there. Talk about radical. Can we get much more radical than that? Big opportunity here. Oh, just denied the hit. Unfortunately. Nice. And the moonwalk. With how short in stature, Chucky is really tough to diagnose where he's going at any given point, even over a tower like that. So, first hook. Gen does pop, however. Rather unfortunately at that. Right. Let's go stealth mode here. Big gen movement here. And an exposed party. Never mind. was Meg who got hit by friends to the end. They're nowhere to be seen, alas. Pop goes Weasel here. Chucky playing very aggressively in not kicking the gen. And it works out for him. Nice quick dying state there. If he can get back to that distant gen before it pops, all the better.
Playtime's over.
As there goes Meg. You're actually really tempted to shun the gen kick again in favour of maybe going for an exposed here. But they've got a nice tile here. That doesn't do anything. Okay. Get Pop Goes Weasel out there. Get Eruption out there. Get a bit of a stranglehold on these gens. As he unhook back here, the heal on hook. Presumably. Yep. Let's go this way.
That's what you get when you
And it's
play
Ace for Sconti. Doesn't drop the pallet. Good injury there. Possibly an immediate drop. It will be. Okay. Keep the pallet, continue the chase. You're doing really well with slices and dices here. Great tile to counter with it. Nice. Oh, very good. Very, very good. So maybe that's why you're not too concerned about Gideon for Chucky. Able to make plays like that. Maybe not even all that fussed about kicking these pallets if you're able to navigate them in such a way. Rather big gem movement here. Right. Getting the kick. Oh. Should have waited just a split second longer to get Eruption back out on it. And that's it. You get Eruption there. So Meg's just been hiding in this tile, trying to counter the exposed hit, doing so pretty well. Gets the injury. That one. You'd have every right to be a bit peeved if you're Meg Thomas on the receiving end of a hit like that through the pallet. As Chucky, nothing questionable about that hit. All the way around the tile, dying state there. Very, very, very good stuff. The hook's a little bit annoying here. Aha, but nothing annoying about the spread of survivor intel that Chucky sees just to the right-hand side. As there goes Adam. Great hit again. Some of these dashes are absolutely outrageous. Again, I'll tell you what. This game has been a tale of what if. What if these killers had this kind of form much earlier on? Be loving life here. Oh, that's an unfortunate miss. And it allows Adam to get away with life. Damn shame. Nonetheless, lots to like here for Chucky. If this is going to be, well, it will be him bowing out of the tournament, what a way to do it. Well played. Had to really swiftly get around the wall there. Very easily could have just found himself in the lip without a chance of getting out. Another hook. Very good. And another big opportunity here. Hold that thought. Can't do that. Can't do that when you know there's aura reading around. Big mistake. And that means that the game goes from good to great for Chucky. 2 on hook at the same time. Intel on the survivor up there. He's just going to make sure this gen's regressing. And then head up. As Ace takes the M1. Oh, not quite able to get the slice and dice out there afterwards, unfortunately. Very close. Dead hard. Some weirdness with the timing there. It sounded like the dying state noise, but no dying state obtained. Oh, and they just weren't able to get the pallet in time. They didn't want to give away an easy scamper, is the issue, but they just held up for too long. So the slice and dice connects. Another unhook there, but there are 3 gens left, and you got 3 survivors on death hook here. This is a very, very good game for Chucky. Not over. Definitely not over. Says Meg. Pre-drop here? Not quite. Aura reading. Could be great here. Oh, they saw through what Chucky was trying to do. Get a kick immediately. Take a nice diagonal line here, just try and cut them off. Slice and dice in play. And is there anything they can do? Yes, they can turn the corner. Nicely done. That door's gone, so you can go around here and just hem them in as much as possible. Oh, but this door's open, of course. The vault there. Double back immediately. Do they panic at any point? Well done! Well done! Everyone on death hook, and he's doing it with aplomb here, is Chucky. So everyone death hook. 3 gens left. There have been resets. There are heals here. This game isn't over. In fact, Chucky's seen to that by keeping everyone in the game. Almost as if he wants to do this as stylishly as possible. The scratch marks going this way. And then none. And then none at all, huh? How intriguing. Get a kick out here. Just trying for a slice and dice, and good call because Lolita was moving this gen. Okay. This could still be a loss, by the way, because there is significant gen movement out there, and Chucky has played it unbelievably fair. Oh. Ooh. Oh. So unfortunate. You thought he got stuck on the pillar there. He didn't, but then he wasn't able to navigate around and get the hit. A kick out there. That's not going to do anything, I'm afraid. So you get the pallet kicked. But this is the worst chase that Chucky's had by far, and it could be a game-losing chase. I'm not going to be able to turn around and get the hit on that one. Getting the kick. Moving back. Sprint burst, presumably. No, because Ace has dead halves. Don't know what that was. Giving away the hit for free. Maybe looking ahead to adrenaline, perhaps? Certainly getting dead hard. Obviously, you can use that very nicely against Chucky. They'll have a pallet here. And Slice and Dice won't quite be there in time to counter the pre-drop. However... Nice! That is sensational. It's a play that only works if they are camping the pallet. No reason for them to camp the pallet there. But for some reason they were. Good stuff. That might be the hit of the tournament so far. And it is so wild that it comes during a bit of a dead rubber game with both killers eliminated. What a play from Chucky. 1 gen left. No gens left. And that's the hell of it with DBD. It's a game that continues to punish game states like this. If Chucky focused on one survivor, this game would have been sewn up ages ago, but he's played it fairly, he's spread the hooks, and because of that, he's staring down the barrel of a 3E here. Why do you see so much tunneling in this game? This is exactly why. Just going after Meg here. Just getting the slice and dice out there. Going around the pallet, and that was a mistake. Not quite going to get the goods with that. Okay.
Why the hell are you leaving them?
This gives away the hit. Again, a rather unfortunate hit. Oof. Rather unfortunate hit if you're Meg Thomas. Needed that, did Chucky. Needed some hope of getting someone on the hook in the endgame. They're going to head upstairs. There could be some body blocks here, but you can't really body block the slice and dice too effectively, as we're going to see right now. Nice. Could be a pallet drop here. Injury. Okay. Pivot around here. Get too close looking for a potential pallet save. Nah, forced out. Okay. So it will be... What is that? A 10 hook performance from Chucky. It'll be the loss, but it's a very well-played game. And it just highlights a real and continuing issue that Dead by Daylight has. Tunnels are the way to go if you want reliable ways to win. And until that's fixed, you're going to keep on seeing them. But no matter. Great performance from Chucky. Trash Chucky. Lucky we had a baby Meg just standing around. There you go. And that's what you get. That's what you get if you play it fair and have everyone on death hook. You get a dead hard merchant giving you some chat in the post-game. GG. They just got a little bit heated in the post-game. It happens. I wish they hadn't, but it does happen. Twins get the win. Their first win of the tournament. And a really well-played game, in fairness. What a hard luck loss for Chucky. What a hard luck campaign for Chucky. A very respectable hook total of 38 hooks. You know, you're 10 hooks away from perfection there. But it isn't enough. They suffer 3 losses, a draw. And that means that we enter round 5 in Group D with Twins and Chucky both eliminated. Cannibal has an outside chance of playoff qualification, but it's looking pretty solid for Nurse and for Trapper. All eyes on their matchup here. Cannibal needs to win against Twins in round 5. If he can do that, this then becomes very, very important.